Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Before you turn away, before we get the show started, I have a very important statement that I need to read, and then we'll get to everything else. All right, here we go. It is so important that I actually wrote it down. As we speak, 10,000 to upwards of 40,000 Americans are trapped in the country of Afghanistan. The U.S. government has abandoned them. At this moment, the Taliban has taken over the country. People, they're going door to door, knocking down doors and attacking people if they have the wrong religion. Women are being forced to cover up again. Schools are being shut down. Women with jobs are being removed. This is the grossest foreign policy negligence we have seen since the failed post-invasion plans of the war in Iraq. That is why today, exclusively on Pop Culture Corner, we are going to discuss the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. What the hell do you think we were going to talk about? Welcome to Jivin with Jack. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and genders all across the spectrum for today's special episode of Jivin' with Jack. Last night's show was fire. I want to thank everyone who came out last night. We had 24,000 views for our Spider-Man coverage for SonyCon or whatever the hell it was called. I wasn't there, and I'm not taking full credit for it. I'm just saying, ever since we started Jivin' with Jack, we talked about free Britney. Britney's free. We talked about Cuomo. Cuomo's gone. We talked about South Park possibly getting canceled. South Park renewed for like 20 years. Am I taking all the credit for that? Yes, I am. I thank all of you for joining us today. We are going frame by frame, combing the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Plus, today, you've been asking for it. You've been wanting it. We have a new Jack attack. That's right. We're talking Spider-Man No Way Home. We're talking Shang-Chi. And you know, I always keep things very cool. I never say anything controversial. So today's episode should be cool and calm. But we are going to talk about Shang-Chi as well. Plus, a little bit of news here and there. We're going to talk about movies and stuff. But before we do all that, I need to bring my co-host who has a little bit of news of his own that we're going to share a little bit later tonight. So it is time to bring in the man with the $1 million voice, Austin Lean 316. What's going on, man?
Woo! What is up, man? What is up? Good to see you as always. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How about that intro, by the way? Everyone thought I was going to get political for a second. And then like Ryan Johnson, I subverted your expectations.
You know what? Hi made a great point. And by the way, hi. I love to say hi to hi. I love hi. That's one way to say we have it really easy compared to others. And boy, is that true. So just to touch on that, obviously our hearts do go out to the people in Afghanistan. And we are just praying and hoping for the best in an absolute horrible situation. But with that,
like we talk pop culture, but we also can't ignore it. Like we talked about Derek Chauvin when that happened. So I was like, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun. Exactly. But you know what? That's what pop culture is for. And there's a lot of stuff going wrong in the world.
Oh wow, it's already started, guys. We already got our first super chat. Right, Nick Carr, appreciate you with the $4.99 super chat. And with that, guys, I want to mention super chats are open. We do have a membership to the channel that you can always check out. Starts at $2.99, goes to $9.99. And what's great about that is, hey, you get everything. So that's our little spiel for that. That's going to be it. Yeah, get all the goods, but make sure Make sure and check it out. And yeah, but real quick with that, what's up, everybody in the chat? It is so cool.
Yeah,
last night, like you said, man, we had 24,000 views on our Spider-Man No Way Home live reaction. I know. Yes. Yeah. You get all the praise.
But that was really phenomenal.
I've already showed you the shrine that I have building for you in my room.
He's building me a shrine, and they're going to put my face on the logo. But you know what? I was working last night, and I get notifications, and then Ty put in the group chat, 21 to 24,000 view, and I thought he probably meant 240, maybe he accidentally added a 0. But last night,
we thought the same thing for a second too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he mistyped, because Ty never mistypes. But I was shocked, and who said that? And we're canceled. Real quick before we get into Spider-Man, you know what I saw this weekend? I've been going to the movies, and
right.
I saw this movie called The Night House with Rebecca Hall. A lot of people might remember from Iron Man 3. She was Tony Stark's girlfriend at the beginning of the movie that he dated in the flashback. Great kind of art house horror film. It was actually kind of refreshing. It's about this woman. Her husband killed himself. She's living in depression, and she turns out that she's being haunted, and he was up to no good. That's all I'm going to say. But, I went to Showcase to see it. I loved it. I thought it was fun. It was entertaining. It's the kind of horror movie I think you would like. It's not like The Conjuring or whatever. It's
right. Nice little indie type. Look, hey, I saw The Green Knight last week, and I know that's kind of a lesser talked about film. And man, I absolutely fell in love with that movie. But before we get into our nice little indie film topics, real quick, as always, shout out to everybody in the chat. So awesome. Yeah. We depend on you guys. We live off you guys. Your engagement is all that is all. It feeds us. It fuels us. We need it. It's like fire in our bones. And so with that, Roboblox, who became a member last night, thank you so much. Good to see you back here as always. Roboblox, the Drifter, also a new member from last night, new person. Always good to see you. Great to have you here. Let's see who else we got. We got our usuals. Adam is here. We love Adam. Adam with the best channel on YouTube. Hey, best viewers on. Yeah. Let's see here. Pop Culture Corner. We're here, obviously. Insight Radio. What is up, Insight?
Hey, Insight Radio. Good podcast.
Yep. Billy Robert. What's up, Ty? Woo! Great show last night. You guys, thank you so much, Billy. We appreciate it.
Billy is not related to Ty.
Much love. Let's see. What's up? Everybody saying hi to Tyler. Tyler is, I think he's in the chat. Did I miss Tyler? Oh, yeah, there he is. Tyler's obviously in the chat.
Dude, the chat was on fire before the show started. I was here doing some prep work. And
I'll also be covering CinemaCon with Ty as usual, as it does take place in my hometown. But yes, I also wanted to, Almighty Norg, sorry. You know me. I like to make sure everybody gets their shout out. Everybody. Yes, we do have a Discord. Because somebody did mention that we do have a Discord, and Caiden, maybe you can link that Discord. Perfect.
There we go.
Caiden's on it. Real quick, also, guys, shout out to the best freaking dude. You're the best. We love you, man.
Dude, your shout out got muted.
Oh no!
He said best,
and then it blanked.
Yeah, he's my second favorite producer that Pop Culture Corner's ever had.
You're saying, I get it, because you were the first.
I was the original, but Caiden is so much better at it. I became a producer and then kind of became a co-host. Now I'm a host. It's a big mistake Pop Culture Corner made giving me my own show. I mean, it was.
I know we don't see you around anymore besides this show now.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like it's.
I'm working full time. I've sort of become like that prima donna actor who shows up when he wants to on set.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you being a little? Are you being a little Vin Diesel-y?
Yeah,
a little. No. Do I have to be The Rock? Are we gonna have to have a public feud? And
look at Tyler saying Jivin with Jack is the best show. Thank you. No, he said the best show. That's what I read. Oh,
right. Fun. I just see. Yeah, I saw best show as well. Yep.
The best show. So no, he's got a life and work. That's what it is. Unfortunately, now the lockdown's over. It's crazy. But I got some good projects lined up, so things are looking good for Jack.
And we got some great projects lined up here too. So make sure and stay tuned, guys, because we got some cool announcements. Yeah, I know. What do you got on the docket for us today, sir?
Okay, so Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. I screenshot the crap out of it. I know you guys talked about last night, but I'm like, now I'm here. Now we can actually talk about it. Give us our real thoughts. But yeah, we're gonna go over it. It's hot. I thought it delivered. I don't know. I know there was a lot of hype. There was a lot of like, will it deliver? And it's a teaser. It's called a teaser trailer. So this is not a full trailer, but holy crap, they gave us a lot more than I thought.
That's a 3-minute teaser trailer, boy. That's a
long teaser trailer.
Teaser if I've ever seen one.
If you just put the word Spider-Man.
Right.
Far From Home, and that's it. Remember the Dark Knight teaser? They didn't show anything, just show the bat signal and just said the Dark Knight. We're like, great, thank you for that.
But still, people were salivating. They were like, ah! Honestly, No Way Home could have just shown like Spider-Man suiting up and swinging through the city, and maybe a Doctor Strange narration.
Yeah, exactly.
People still would have gone, "This is the best trailer ever made."
Exactly. But it's excellent. You know what, Caiden? You hit that transition button because let's get into it. I don't know. There's no time limit on this. We'll go as long as we need to. If it takes the whole show. But we will talk a lot about No Way Home. So, folks, stay tuned. Well, here we go. Let's start right from the beginning. Don't hit them all, Caiden. We're going to go through them frame by frame. Let's start right with the beginning. Right there. So this picks up, I think this is going to pick up right after the second film ended. It looks like it, feels like it. And because of that 5-year gap between Endgame and remember there's a 5-year gap where everyone kind of like, disappeared. For those of you, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Endgame, but they disappeared. I feel like it's
a little lesser known indie film. It's called Avengers Endgame, guys. If you haven't heard of it, go check it out. They really need your support to keep making those movies. So, like I said, a little lesser known film.
He said the trailer got more hype than the Homecoming. Remember the hype for Homecoming was a little sparse because it was only 2 or 3 years after this Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. A lot of people weren't sure if the Tom Holland films would be as good as either Tobey Maguire films or the first Andrew Garfield. And we know Austin's a big fan of Tom Holland. But that movie knocked it apart by not copying the Raimi style, not copying whoever the hell directed those 2 amazing Spider-Man films. But right here, the cat's out of the bag. Everyone knows. Everyone knows he is Spider-Man.
Yep.
He has been, what's the word? He's been doxxed.
Yep. Yeah, he's been doxxed right by Mysterio.
Okay, Austin, you take this question, Billy Robert.
Yeah, good. Hey, thank you, Billy, for the super chat as always.
Leave it up
we really appreciate you and your support, Billy. It's always great to have you here, man, and your support means the world. With that, to answer your question, I don't think I am willing to bet my life savings that those guys are gonna meet in the new Spider-Man. Look, I mentioned it last night. It would behoove them. It would be. I mean, these guys, they're having Doc Ock, they're having Green Goblin, they're having Electro, they're having Sandman. It's like of course, of course they you can't bring all those villains back and not bring in Andrew and Toby. I think,
and especially after the multiverse movie where they showed different iterations of Spider-Man. You got 2 Spider-Man waiting. You even got the Japanese guy. I want to see him, the Spider-Man one from like 1980. Bring him in too. But here we go. Times Square, Public Enemy #1. For those of you who don't remember, I'm sure you guys all remember. Roblox Marvel Ultimate. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. My man. Is he from last night? Someone new?
Yes, Roboblock comes in with and he's also, I believe he's one of our newest members as well. Thank you so much for the $1 super chat.
There we go.
But ask questions. You can ask us whatever. We'll answer. Yep.
Here's the thing. So essentially, Mysterio died a hero as far as the public is concerned. They think that Spider-Man did all that crap that we saw in, was it Venice, I believe, or was it London? No, they're in London towards the end, aren't they? I'm trying to remember. They start in Venice and then they go to London, right?
Venice, is it? Yeah, it is. It is London. That destruction happens. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, what about these Stark Industries? They know what really happened. They're involved. Can't they kind of be his PR? You know, like
probably
Pepper Potts and like I'm like, he's not really on his own. He does have Stark Industries kind of behind him to back him up, at least, do something. They have to play a role. We do see Happy in the trailer. Is Pepper Potts going to be in this one? Do we know?
I don't think so. I doubt. I mean, obviously, I think Gwyneth Paltrow has taken, all this.
She's selling her candles at the moment.
Right. She's selling candles that smell like her vagina. To be honest, they smell like her vagina. So if you want Gwyneth Paltrow vagina smelling candles, please go to, I think it's goop.com and buy your Gwyneth Paltrow. Not that we're sponsored by Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candles, because we're not.
popculturecorner.com/pooter and you will get.
But we would love to be. I think I messed. Yeah, I was from yesterday. Yes.
There you go. Welcome.
Rob says he thinks he's got Matt Murdock as his.
I was going to get to that. Okay, so that's my very next frame. A lot of people are suggesting.
Those arms.
That's Charlie Cox.
Those are some familiar, nice, hairy hands and arms, aren't they?
Yep. I don't know. Do you think so? Because I don't know.
I think so, man. I do.
So?
I've heard amongst the many rumors and tales that go around about this film that Matt Murdock makes an appearance. That Charlie Cox scene kind of seems like it, man. I mean, getting interrogated. I mean, probably he shouldn't be talking to those guys without a lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, so I mean that in itself is very exciting too, right? With the multiverse coming, it's like I've long wanted. Daredevil is one of my favorite Netflix shows of all time. We were talking about it on the phone.
I think Daredevil is the best Marvel product.
You were telling me that you and your dad loved that show.
He watched it twice. We watched it.
Wow.
I mean, I hope if they do write Daredevil, bring him in, they need to get some of the writers from the show, because they got the character and they did it in a fresh and interesting way where it was different than the MCU. And I hope that, isn't there a rumor that Vincent D'Onofrio might be in something?
It's rumored that he's going to show up in Hawkeye. Hawkeye episode 5 happens the week No Way Home premieres. So I believe episode 5 is Wednesday. No Way Home is Friday. So it's said that we're going to see Kingpin in that episode. Then we'll see Matt Murdock in No Way Home. I've long wanted them to bring the Netflix universe into canon.
Well, here's the funny thing. Up until recently, I feel like Infinity War screwed up everything, because the Netflix shows had no idea what was going to happen in Infinity War. Only Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. made a reference that Thanos was coming. But if you watch the first season of Daredevil, the first season of Luke Cage, the first season of Jessica Jones, they all referred to the Battle of New York. In fact, in the Daily, it's not the Daily Bugle. I forgot what they called the newspaper.
That's true.
You see the Battle of New York. You see in Luke Cage making references to the attack. In fact, the reason the Kingpin is able to buy up Hell's Kitchen is because all this property, you have to remember, Hell's Kitchen is in Manhattan. It's near Washington Heights section of Manhattan. Got destroyed because of Loki's invasion with the Chitauri. So the property prices are low. So Kingpin makes his move. He's like, because of the battle, prices are low. So Kingpin, Madame Gao, and all the evil people in Daredevil, they're now buying up massive amounts of property and buying up property in Hell's Kitchen. And that's sort of the impetus for the first season of Daredevil. So this was supposed to be very connected to the MCU. Obviously, in subsequent seasons of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, or even Iron Fist, there's no mention of the snap. There's no mention of Thanos' invasion, because you could tell that the people writing the shows were not talking to the people working on the films. And there's this disconnect where the shows kind of went off on their own tangent, in the same way our friend Walter Hamada might say a cul-de-sac.
Yeah. And it's funny, but with that, guys, we're coming right back to Spider-Man No Way Home. Breaking news! Caiden, where's the button? Press the breaking news button.
Take it away, Austin.
Yeah, guys, breaking news. Just was announced. Venom 2 has been delayed to January 2022. It's taking Morbius's release date in January 2022. So there's that. Drifter said that was great. Hey, thanks, Drifter. We try. We work hard for that. So yeah, with that, it does probably raise some questions as to if No Way Home may now possibly get a delay.
So I was kind of worried about the end of the trailer because it still said December 17th. I was like, oh, thank God.
I was pretty surprised. I was expecting coming soon.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But no, they set that December 17th release date.
And so, look, this is the movie that I don't know how Shang-Chi will do. I don't know how Eternals will do because of the current circumstances with the pandemic. Look at it.
Right,
will
Adam.
Charlie Cox of the MCU.
Love Adam. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Absolutely.
Excellent.
I mean, look, Feige is smart, right? He knows what works and what doesn't. He probably looked at all the Netflix shows, and said that here's the thing. If he sees that it has a following, but it has a passionate following, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage have a pretty passionate following. I don't think Iron Fist is as popular, but I'm sure he's looked at that and seen their popularity, and I'm sure he's going to be bringing them in. So yeah, I really think we're going to be seeing that soon. The movie is done, so it will show.
The issue is the pandemic, the Delta variant.
Yes. What they're worried about is
masking back up.
Exactly. They're worried about obviously probably the ticket sales and things like that, as well as look, CinemaCon had a interesting panel today, this morning, that they were talking about. Look, this day and date release thing that they're going to theaters on the same day and on the stream, it's not working. It's only hurting the films. It's only hurting the theaters. So they are really trying to push to try to transition back to theaters. At this point, if that means delaying films, I know some studios are absolutely willing to do that. Geek Studios, great to see you, Geek Studios. It's been a while. Always good to see you here, man. We love you and we appreciate your support as always.
On that,
George, also good to see you.
Hey, Just George.
See, they may be banking on No Way Home doing well.
I think that we need it. Even if the variant goes away, we don't know. It might stay, it might go away. We don't know what the weather changed or whatever. I still think people need a push to go back to the movies, even if things get better. You're vaccinated, you're healthy, but there's still fear, and rightfully so. You could still be, let's say, vaccinated and still transmit it. But it might take a movie like No Way Home to kind of push people and say, screw it, I'm going out, wear a mask, I'm just going to go see this movie. And this could be, I don't know. We've been talking about when are we going to see the $1 billion movies again. The last movie to make $1 billion was Rise of Skywalker, I think, in the theaters pre-pandemic. We had
yeah.
So maybe this might. I mean, here's the thing. I applaud Disney. Don't do a dual release. Put it in theaters. I want to see this in IMAX. I want to see it in Next Plus, and I want it to go there. So why not use a premium Disney Plus thing? Because
look, as far as Spider-Man comes, there's no other way that I will be seeing that film besides IMAX, Dolby Atmos, whatever the biggest, you said. Would like to see a new Punisher movie. I would as well.
I would love to, but I just hesitate with Disney behind it. Here's the thing. I want to address this. I don't care what Disney says. They're not making that much money with this. Well, I mean, okay, wait, Disney Plus, you make $30. Okay, fine. But I think it just opens the door to piracy, unfortunately. And we all of us there, we don't believe in piracy. I think people just wait. And people admit it. They're like, oh, someone will just record it and then put up. You'll get a 4K version of it on Pirate Bay or some other place.
Look, it did make $30 million in Disney Plus sales. But it was also the most pirated movie of the year. So it probably lost a good $100 million as well in Disney Plus. So it's definitely they have to really think about it and consider it. I think it's why they're not doing it with Shang-Chi. I think it's obviously why Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney. Shout out, hey Resonant, great to see you, dude. Also shout out 20 people in the chat. We love you guys so much.
Do you think it's a good time to make your announcement?
Do you
think, or do you want to wait? Do you want to wait until it gets like a little bit higher? We do have a big announcement.
It's up to. We can do it now. That's fine. You want to do it now?
We're at 21. We have a big announcement, folks, but we want to make sure there's enough people watching to, you know. What do you say? It's your call.
Well, yeah, we can do it now. We'll go ahead and we'll get it out of the way. Why not? I like it.
All right, guys. I was actually looking for that button. I'm like, where the hell's the transition button? Austin, take it away.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. Special announcement, guys. Obviously, September's coming. A lot of things are going to be happening. A lot of cool things. But of one of those things, I won't be going anywhere.
Say it again.
I won't be going anywhere. I'll still be here. But Monday nights, I will be having my own show, and shout out to T. Even though he's not here.
Say it again. I'm sorry. You keep cutting out. I don't know what it is.
Does it keep cutting out? All right, hold on. Yeah. Let me switch. I don't know why the audio is being like that. Let me switch the microphone here to just the regular one.
Basically, Austin is leaving, and Justice will be back. No,
right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
The other announcement. We're gonna get back to Spider-Man, but don't worry.
Right. Okay, so basically, yeah, Monday nights. I'll be getting my own show called Lean on Me. Shout out to T.W. McKay for that name and how they come up with it. So yeah, Lean on Me coming Monday nights, Pop Culture Corner. It's gonna be awesome, guys. There's gonna be a lot of cool things happening in September. Yes, it's going to be here on the Pop Culture Corner channel as always. Lots of other cool things. The Austin show, it's coming, and then also we'll be having a podcast as well. Something that I used to do, the Comic Nerd Rave podcast on the Pop Culture Corner Network will also be happening there as well with me and some of my friends. So lots to look forward to. Just have that announcement. Also, there'll be some cool guests with the show. Paul from Into the West Comics is going to be hosting with me. So it's going to be like our official collaboration with them. So he'll be my official co-host. Our first guest is Donovan from there. So I know a lot of people like Donovan. And we'll have some other really surprise guests. But guys, I'm really super excited, and make sure and be looking out for that, because there's lots of other cool stuff coming in September, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it more.
Do we have a date yet?
Yeah, September 6th is the date, is the official drop for.
All right, that's Labor Day, baby. So
Labor Day. It's gonna be a nice. It's gonna be a really fun show planned. I'm telling you right now. There's gonna be multiple guests. There's gonna be live music. It is going to be unlike any other show on the channel, and I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Mysterio's responsible for all of this. Ty's saying, who's responsible?
This is right. Actually, no. It's Mephisto. I made a deal with the devil, and that's how I got the show, guys. Much like Spider-Man in that trailer. Whew, just like he made a deal, right?
Yeah. Did you see that? Something came up. I got shivers. You didn't see it, did you?
I'm done. I know I didn't. I was. Let's see. I'm
really excited about this. So in 2 weeks, we're going to call it Lean on Me. Is that right?
Yes. It's going to be called Lean on Me, and I guess I thought I'd already covered it, but obviously, shout out Ty, right? Of course, it's his channel.
So Ty forgot that he greenlit it?
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah.
Drifter, I agree with you. COVID-19 needs to end forever. I'm here with you, man. I am here with you. Whew. But really exciting stuff.
Yes, lots of cool things. By the way,
while we're making announcements, if any of you are pro wrestling fans, I know there's some of you out there, on Thursday, towards the end of the show, we're going to do a segment called Wrestling Corner, where I'll be joined by my friend Dez, and she and I are going to talk about some of the big things that happened in wrestling in AEW and WWE. Some big things happened. I know that's not everyone's niche, but we'll be talking about it towards the end of the show on Thursday. It'll be kind of cool if you're an AEW or WWE fan, or neither, but you're kind of curious what happened this past weekend that has kind of people buzzing. The media is buzzing about it. That'll be there on Thursday. But in 2 weeks, 13 days, Lean on Me.
That's right, baby. Check it out.
We should do a rendition of Stand By Me with the words Lean on Me.
Well, I can't. That's the other thing I can announce, right? It's gonna have an original intro and outro written by my good friend and rapper Wele of Las Vegas. So
Thursday. Sorry.
Yep. So and then also Thursday, dude, come back for that. Lots of fun stuff, lots of cool segments. Jack Attack is back today.
Yeah,
you got that. I'm gonna be doing also some fun stuff on, and Jack, definitely want you to join me. I think me and you will have a lot of fun with this.
My goal now is to make Lean on Me the second best show on Pop Culture Corner.
Yes, exactly. Right next to Jack.
I want it to be the best show. I think all of us should try to make each show the best show. Like, it's got to be like, competition within the brand. Give us fire. But I'm really excited.
There we go. I can already confirm right now. Ill Life live performances from Ill Life live. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be an awesome show.
Ill Life, stop by Bonks. Your beer's on me, buddy. By the way, if you're in the Philly area, stop by Bonks. I buy you a beer in the name of Pop Culture Corner. Even if you don't know it, I'll make it work. I'm gonna have to get used to this when you're doing your show. There we go. I'll be like me over here, like, hi.
Right. Yes. But yes, Ill Life, absolutely, dude. Ill Life, I'm writing you in. You're on the first episode right now. There you go.
It's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited.
Absolutely. But yes, he said, wait, I thought you were actually both gonna wrestle, and that would be funny if you do. Well, unfortunately, he is in Philadelphia, and I'm not gonna lie, he looks a lot stronger and meaner than I do. So,
and I started.
I'm not looking for the pain, but I'll just give it up and say that I forfeit. He'll probably win.
Keep letting people ruin these movies. I know people are still worried about COVID-19, but if it's still that bad by the time, honestly, just rent a theater. I'm hoping. Look,
I'd do the same. I would rent a theater.
I rent a theater. Honestly, we don't know.
Right.
But if people get vaccinated, I'm just not trying to get preachy. If you can, just get vaccinated. Get your little stupid card to show the commissar when you walk into the building. Sieg Heil and just go watch your movie.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And look, I don't think this is going to last forever. And I don't think theaters will shut down again. Hopefully not. But obviously, look, right, these bigger tentpole films like No Way Home, like the DC movies, they need to make some money back. They're big budgets. They're kind of probably before COVID. No Way Home, they were probably riding on No Way Home being the next Endgame for Marvel.
Yeah,
based off the trailer reaction, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
that's what I'm hoping. And later I'll talk about this during my Jag Attack. Like, I have some thoughts about Shang-Chi, but every phase has started off with a bang. So far, I feel like Phase 4 started with a whimper, but Spider-Man No Way Home might be this phase's Civil War. That movie that just like Civil War was just set the tone for the rest of Phase 3. I think No Way Home is going to set the tone for Phase 4. But you know what? Let's get into it. I know you're a Mephisto guy. Did you take anything from this shot over here?
There's a lot of Mephisto stuff in there, right? Not only with that. There actually that reference, right, where he said, "Be careful what you wish for." Parker.
Oh, the One More Day comic
is a reference to the One More Day comic, exactly. And so, definitely. Look, I learned a lesson, Jack, with WandaVision. I learned a lesson, and I will not be speculating that far as to going that Mephisto's going to show up or whatever. But, look, I think that would be even crazier to an already crazy movie. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. But
real quick, Ill Life, you have nothing to apologize for, buddy. I know my schedule has just been a nightmare. I barely have time for Jivin with Jack, but I'm glad I'm here. I mean, what would this channel be without me? Who knows? It'd probably be much off better, but that being said,
apart. It fall apart.
Exactly. Studios saying, I hope Charlie Cox will be in No Way Home. I think we covered that. Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
But Adam Silvestri is more fit for She-Hulk. Didn't you hear rumors that he might be in She-Hulk also?
I did hear. I've heard a lot of stuff, man. I've heard a lot of things.
But
But
let me ask you this: do you think Mephisto could be in this movie? He's such a big villain. Why put him in the TV?
I refuse because honestly, that level of speculation for me ruined WandaVision. Like it just ruined the show for me because I could have sworn he was going to show up in that show, and I just I don't think that. I'll be honest. At this point, I don't think Mephisto is going to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
What did Resident Justice say here? Mikey Sutton, very trustworthy, believes that Doctor Strange we see here is not the real one, but an evil fake, maybe Mephisto. Because it seems like Doctor Strange might have pulled a Tony Stark in Age of Ultron here by screwing up. What do you think?
Look, there were some things off about Doctor Strange in there. I don't know if I would go as far as to say that it's evil. Doctor Strange, it could be. Obviously, we know that that's going to be. He's going to be evil. Doctor Strange is going to be introduced in What If, in an upcoming episode of What If.
Yeah.
So it could be. It could be. I just think it would be a little weird. I think it's going to be more along the lines that of what I've heard is that something is going to pit Peter and Doctor Strange against each other.
Oh.
Not necessarily that Doctor Strange is evil, but that they get into a disagreement that causes a fight. And so that could very well possibly. We see that scene of Doctor Strange raising those trains and all those and spin all that craziness, right?
Well, Adam Silvestri makes an interesting point. He says Doctor Strange not following the advice of Wong, I think, was suspect. But
no, that's not suspect at all.
In the first film, he was like disobeying.
It's like that in all the movies. Yeah, I mean, what's that one thing that he uses in Doctor Strange that they keep telling him? Yeah, you can't use this. It's gonna like destroy. And he's like. Right, exactly.
Like, he has a habit of just not listening.
It is very in character.
Supposed to read.
I'll tell you what wasn't in character. Maybe the little subtle wink afterwards. That was more like a little evil wink to me. Like okay, Doctor Strange, yes, he will purposely not listen to somebody, but for good reason, and he will argue it, and he will probably be right.
Mm-hmm.
This was just kind of sounded like out of spite. Like, one said not to, and so I think there's some things off. Hey, Resident, thank you so much, man.
Thank you,
guys. Yeah, sharing, liking it all means the world to us.
It all means the world. Do you remember when we started? I mean, Austin, you weren't here, but like when it was just me, Ty, and Drip, we would have like 15, 20 views, maybe 3 or 4 viewers, and we were grateful. We loved it, and look where we are about 9 months later, almost, And who knows, we're going to be in 9 more months.
We're still grateful.
Real quick, Adam asked, why is the Sanctum frozen? So one of the theories I've heard postulated is because that they never got the hole at the top repaired from the Hulk. And it's cold because we know that we see Halloween stuff, we see Christmas stuff. But I figured that it's been a couple of years they would have gotten the hole repaired. So why do you think? Because Strange looks like he's kind of bundled up. He looks like he might have one of those what are those things?
You know what? And Adam did say something interesting. But see, Adam said something interesting, but I'm also like, Adam, why'd you have to say this? Because now it's in my head, and it's like, oh, that's such a good point. That it's like, that's a great comment. Because look, Marvel does do little things that mean a lot. Okay, we know that. We know that nothing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just there. And so Adam said the devil burns cold. Why would the Sanctum be frozen? And I love that. I love that. You notice, he's starting to, I think, stop, Adam, stop putting it in my head. Get out.
This is just a teaser trailer, but we've seen Doc Ock. We might have seen Lizard. We hear Green Goblin's voice. Electro maybe, but like I feel like they're trying to throw us off. Something else is going on, maybe not.
Right. This is a good one.
They were shoveling.
Didn't Sylvie already create the multiverse by killing He That Remains? I don't think Strange Spell creates the multiverse, but rather just opens up something to let people. I agree. I mean, look, we saw that the multiverse has been opened by Sylvie, right? We saw all those branches and stuff, right? But just like RJ says, something needs to happen for those branches to now connect and jump into each other, right? And for them to be going from one another to one another.
Yeah.
So, I do think that that's going to be Doctor Strange's thing then. Whatever spell.
But they talked about the multiverse. I might be wrong. In the first Doctor Strange, when the Ancient One is explaining to Doctor Strange at the beginning when she touches him, she mentions the multiverse. So I think that maybe everything we thought we learned in Loki may not be accurate. Because remember, we're learning it from a source, he who knows everything, that may not be trustworthy. Who even admitted that he can't see everything. So maybe the multiverse has always been there. I don't know. Gavin Cooley talking about the vax, man. Just
and he just sent me a cool photo too of all the villains that I'll send.
Drifter's like, do you hear Toys R Us is coming back next year? Really? I mean,
that's interesting.
In an age where the MCU is king, toys just aren't selling well. I think it's because of smart devices and tablets. Kids don't play with toys anymore. I used to collect action figures. When I was a kid, I think it's all coming back to me. All right. Sandman was helping Peter with Electro. So do you think it'll be the Sandman from the third film? I forgot what that actor's name is. Jesus Christ. He actually was one of the better parts of Spider-Man 3. What was the name? Crap. The actor who played Sandman. Who played... I am not Googling this. I forgot what his name was.
Thomas Hayden Church played Sandman. Yeah, I do think he will be back, yes. Real quick, let's see. I love Austin. Well done with your fight against Ugas. Don't retire, dude.
Well done with your fight against Umagas. Don't retire, Umaga.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. So yeah, somebody made. I wonder who says, "Be careful what you wish for, Peter." I do think that was Defoe. I think that would be a bad idea to put James Franco in this movie, man. That would just take everything down. He
kind of canceled because he did some stuff. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, as far as I know, he's still canceled. Like Seth Rogen came out and was like, I'm not working with him and all this other stuff. So yeah. Hey, James, get over here. Let's smoke some weed. But let's see. The Devil Burns. Stop it, Adam. Get out. Thomas Hayden Church coming back would be dope. Yeah, we know Halloween is in October. Halloween is in the film.
But I think we also jump forward. I think there's some time jumps in the trailer where I think it goes over the period of several months.
Yeah. George, that's an interesting take, and I do agree with you, right? January is kind of known as the dumpster month. For
Drifter, I'm definitely going to talk about Halloween Kills over the next few weeks. Don't worry.
Oh, can't wait for Halloween Kills. But, yeah, that's an interesting take. That kind of concerns me, too. I mean, you do have some anomalies. Look, Alicia Battle Angel was phenomenal and should not have been put in the February slot that it got.
Oh, yeah.
That was a summer blockbuster right there, man, and should be.
But if it has name brand, Venom has. Look at
Adam, where have you been? We already did this like 10 minutes ago, dude. We did the whole breaking news, transition and everything. Come on, man.
But look, Aquaman came out in December and killed it. I felt like, oh man, they're putting it in December, and it made $1 billion. Only first DCU, and I think the only DCU movie to make $1 billion because Joker's not DCEU. But you never know. January might be smart with a little competition. It could make money over the course of several weeks. That's kind of been the pattern during COVID. That movies come out, they don't have big opening weekends, but they make money over the course of them. That's how movies used to make money. They'd be in theaters for 5, 6, 7, 8 months, and that's how. Exactly. Drifter. That's our thing right here. We're Snyder.
We agree. And speaking of that, hey, Warner Brothers, take some notes from Marvel here. I mean, come on, guys, take some notes. This is how you freaking do it. I got to say a couple things, right? In that, I know people are like, oh yeah, I'm just saying, people want connected. They want connectivity, right? They're bringing in Michael Keaton's Batman, which is cool, but that's like a 40-year-old audience that may not even care anymore.
Hey.
It's just kind of random. Whatever. It's just I mean, you look at And then also you don't know all about the Flash, what's going to happen, why it's happening. It's just so...
I think the Flash has potential to be a better movie.
Oh no!
I think it could be a better movie. I think it potentially could be a better movie.
No. Look, I want the Flash to be good. I want it to be good. I want it to be good, Jack.
You don't think it'll be good?
Marvel is going to be the studio that gives me Andrew, Toby, and Tom interacting and fighting with each other.
But here's the thing. I'll make this point. Having those cameos doesn't automatically make it a good movie. I mean, I think it'll be a great movie, but like just having cameos.
No, but it helps.
A good movie. It helps, but I still need a good story. I still need some actual stakes. I do need Spider-Man to face these stakes and not have Iron Man or someone come and help him through the movie, kind of like, those are your issues with these movies. You had those issues with the first two Spider-Man, MCU Spider-Man movies. I need him to feel the weight of the world on his back and not have someone standing in the way. And
but you know what?
Captain America, Thor's off planet.
Yeah.
So imagine if Kevin Conroy acts as a home Batman. Look, Kevin Conroy, God bless him. Amazing voice actor. Actual actor, no. So who's Kevin Conroy? I'm sorry. I hate to say this. He is not handsome. He was a.
I will say this though. They should have put Kevin Conroy as Batman in Titans.
That would have worked,
dude. Instead of that dude that, because he wouldn't have had to. Oh, dude, him as Bruce Wayne in Titans would have been. I would have. It would have been incredible. Yeah, Drifter's like yes. Andrew has outgrown being a superhero. I like his indie movies more.
There's a new movie with Andrew coming out where he plays Jim Baker, that famous television.
Yes, I'm going to be seeing that through the eyes of Tammy.
Tammy Faye.
Tammy Faye, yes. And that's a great point. Hi, Andrew has gone on to make a very, very credible indie career. And he's got a musical coming out this year on Netflix, TikTok Boom. So yes, I agree. But with Venom and look, he loved playing Spider-Man. Man, he did. You could tell, and he talks about it. He loved playing Spider-Man, and with Venom and what's happening with Sony and the multiverse, this is the perfect opportunity to bring him back. This is the perfect opportunity to rectify the mistakes of what was made with the Amazing Spider-Man franchise and continue it and kill it because. I know a lot of people didn't like
Doctor Strange too. I always forget that he's involved. He's involved.
And Sam Raimi,
probably asked him a little bit of help. Maybe.
Right. Hey, Prakash, always good to see you. I'm hyped for No Way Home only because of villains. Yes, a multiverse Sinister Six, mind you, and Toby and Andrew, no one else. I'm saying I'm hyped for this movie, dude. I think. Look, they have. This is what Marvel has done. They have created excitement, not just among Marvel fans, but among general audiences, because general audiences saw the Spider-Man movies over the course of the last 20 years. DC has not created that excitement. Even with the Snyderverse, it only excited a certain group of people.
Fan base.
I was in that group of people, and I loved it. But DC has yet to do anything close to create the type of attention and excitement, even with the Michael Keaton casting in The Flash. It's not like this, man. It's not. This has been built up to. It hasn't been built up to in the DC universe.
Well, I'll be honest with you. This kind of reinvigorated my excitement for the MCU. As you know, I have not been that crazy about Phase 4 so far, with the exception of Loki. We'll get more into that. But this movie kind of reminded me of that joy I felt like pre-Endgame, Far From Home, ooh, what's going to happen? And Marvel, I think, needs to change up the formula. I don't know how Shang-Chi and Eternals is going to play out, but this movie doesn't look like. I can't look at this movie and be like, I know what's going to happen. I can't. And I'm glad. Right. They need to do more of that. They need to kind of – that's what made Infinity War and Endgame so good. Unless you looked up spoilers, you didn't know where the story was going. And the mystery has to be kept there, because that's what makes the journey exciting, is that you'll stick that landing. And sometimes the movies, the third act of a lot of comic book movies, kind of like, okay, now the hero beats the villain.
Exactly. And like you said too, right, with Holland, he's a character that has needed stakes for him, personally and on a solo level, because he was very reliant on everybody. But this is a great opportunity for him to not rely on people in the MCU and learn a lot of stuff from Andrew and from Toby and from the villains, and just kind of learn about being on your own in the world and stuff, and to launch him into his college years and the next trilogy. I think this is,
and honestly,
it has me hyped.
The best Spider-Man stories have always been when it's him with his back, him with the weight of the world on his back. Obviously he's in New York and everyone else is there, but the best Spider-Man stories, even going to the Spider-Man video game that came out a couple years, it's just him. And what's great about this movie, there's no Iron Man, there's no Captain America, Thor's off planet. He's kind of on his own. That's why he goes to Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange, it seems, whether he is Doctor Strange or not, has kind of blown it. And then this happens. I mean, I love this shot in the trailer. Everyone knows who he is.
So I want to actually address something here, Benson.
Okay.
This is a Sony movie only by distribution. This is a Marvel movie. Absolutely. And they've been, and look, you can just tell, man. You watch Venom and you even look at Morbius and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't match up with what's happening in the MCU. So this is absolutely a Marvel movie first.
Yeah.
And Marvel is smart in including all the other characters like Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Nick Fury in keeping that in keeping people invested in the MCU outside of Spider-Man by keeping those characters in there. So this is absolutely 100% to the T a Marvel film. Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a Marvel movie. It's a Sony movie only by distribution. I mean,
I think Columbia distributes it. I think it's some weird.
So I think
Disney has to pay. Like I think Disney has to pay Sony to make the movie because Sony has the movie rights for Spider. It's so complicated. This all goes back to the 90s with Daredevil and the X-Men and all that stuff with Fox. But Sony has some weird control. That's why they can make the video games.
I mean, look, there was even a report today, right, that now Marvel is looking at straight up buying characters. Characters.
Now they got the money. They were bankrupt in the 90s. They got the money now.
Exactly. Let's see. When Venom 2 and Morbius are both hits, Sony will move away from Disney. They do not make any more They do not make any more money than standing alone due to the gross cut Marvel.
That might be true. Sony doesn't need the money, honestly. Sony right now is huge. A lot of people we just think Sony Pictures. Sony is like one of the biggest electronic companies in the world. This is just one division. It's not like, like they're heavily dependent on the Spider-Man, but they know that, hey, we can make a lot of money out of all this.
And you know what? I'm not banking on Venom 2 and Morbius being hits. I think Venom was an anomaly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do. I agree with you. I think it was it just worked. I don't know why, because it did as a film person, like as somebody that's gone to film school and done all that stuff. Venom's not on the list of movies to study or watch or But as far I
haven't been impressed with the trailer so far. Like I've
been impressed, yes, and hopefully they go different. But I wouldn't bank on those movies being hits. I really wouldn't. Especially with Venom 2 being moved to January. Yeah. Look, honestly, Sony's last hit was Jumanji.
Yeah.
After
sequel,
Venom.
Right? Yeah.
So Sony Pictures is not in the best position or really in any position to be controlling anything.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But
that's not to say that Marvel deal doesn't include something like what Gavin said, in that Tom stays in the MCU as Spider-Man, Andrew becomes, is back as the Sony Spider-Man now that they've developed Morbius and Venom.
Yeah.
And I would love to see his own Sinister Six, Andrew and his own Sinister Six, because that was also teased in Amazing Spider-Man 2. If DC had just used Keaton in a Batman Beyond storyline from his Burton universe and had ended Snyderverse with Flashpoint Paradox, then in a potential movie, Keaton, Terry Batfleck, and Jim would work. I agree. I mean, obviously, I don't know.
Right now, they're going to establish the multiverse in DC, and then the doors open for a Batman Beyond movie within the Burtonverse. I think that's what the whole point of bringing Keaton back. Because I think early on, the rumors were it's a multi-film deal. potential multi-film deal with Keaton.
They'll make money, but they won't make Marvel money, dude. You got to understand, like, that's the thing. Like, yes, Spider-Man can absolutely make money on his own, absolutely make $1 billion. But what happens when you put Spider-Man with Iron Man and Doctor Strange and you bring him back? Then he's not just $1 billion IP. He's a $2 billion IP. He's and that's what they're looking at, because Sony is getting a cut from this too.
Yep.
Like, they're getting a cut from, and Sony is not complaining with those numbers.
Also, I know that
at all.
Correct, but like, don't underestimate how powerful those video games are. I mean, a new game right now is about $70 on this current generation, and they sold millions of copies of that Spider-Man game and that Miles Morales game, even though it was short.
Yes.
So that's more profitable.
And now, and I will say,
film.
Benson, yeah, I agree, right? That would be the smart move on Sony. Let them have Tom Holland, let them play with the characters and stuff. But if I were Sony, yeah, I would keep Andrew as my main Spider-Man now, and I would keep Miles Morales.
I've always done the feeling
then now Sony is really, if they did that, Sony would really be setting themselves up for the potential to go out on their own. But you have to remember, dude, The Amazing Spider-Man did so bad.
Very well. No,
bad. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, my bad. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did so bad, was so poorly received, that it was no longer an option for Sony to redo Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, they had to lease out the characters because they didn't have the money. So, it's not to say that they're not in that position anymore, but now it's also kind of a public face thing, right? You saw the public outcry that happened when they were going to separate. And when they said, Tom Holland may not come back for a third film after Far From Home. So he said, you're missing the point. They don't need to make as much because they won't be paying Marvel a massive percentage. Yeah, but you got to understand, they're not just paying Marvel a massive percentage. They're receiving a pretty massive percentage from the box office of these movies.
Yeah. But real quick,
did you forget the dispute last time? Yes, but I think that's why they worked it out.
They worked it out.
It would only hurt them for the. And I would argue too, it wouldn't just hurt Sony. It would hurt Marvel to lose Spider-Man. Absolutely, it would be a blow. It would be a blow. So it wouldn't be just Sony taking a hit there.
But real quick, you keep talking about Andrew Garfield. I think there's a lot more clamor. I might be wrong. For the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, there's a large fan base that
Benson,
loves
if every movie got a sequel based off box office, we'd live in a different world. So it has nothing to do with the box office, dude. Suicide Squad 2016 got 800 million and has an Oscar. Yeah. It also has a 26% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. And by the way, 709 million is still less than the first three Raimi films, and the third one was awful. So. They look at that 709 million the same way that BVS's 800 million was kind of looked at as a failure. It's not that it's not a lot of money. It's just that this is supposed to do better. Amazing Spider-Man 2 should have made more money, but it didn't.
Right. Look, and you know what, Drifter, somebody might have, because the CEO of Sony continues to come out, and when asked about if these movies are in the MCU or not, he goes, all I can say is that we have some things planned, and we want to keep them close to our chest.
Yeah.
That right there kind of tells me that, he has been talking with Feige. Yeah, they have been having some things, and if I were Sony, if I were them, I would want to be smart too and not say a word. Look at what has happened with No Way Home. Marvel has not confirmed that Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, Sandman, Toby, and Andrew are in this movie.
Yeah.
They have not said anything, but everybody knows it. But still, the hype around this movie is I have not seen hype around this movie since Endgame. Period.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought around a movie or the Snyder Cut.
I thought WandaVision was underwhelming. I did not like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought Loki was good, but I didn't feel that magic. You know what I'm talking about? Like that magic you felt towards the end of Phase 3 where you knew things were boiling to a point. And I think this movie is going to boil to a point. I think this is going to be a huge movie, and I think people should see it in theaters. I hope Disney doesn't backtrack and decide to do a dual release on things. But I want to talk more about the trailer a little bit.
Yes, let's go back to the trailer.
See hell breaking loose. if I were them, I couldn't get a good screenshot because they're moving, but all of a sudden, everyone in his life is a target now. That is bad. It kind of, you ever read the Born Again Daredevil series where Wilson Fisk exposes that Matt Murdock is Daredevil? And
yeah, I didn't read it, but I know of it. Yes, yes.
And I think that's what's going to happen here. Do you think ultimately Spider-Man is successful and everyone forgets he's Spider-Man? Or do you think they use Miles Morales and they're like, oh, look,
I don't think that's
Spider-Man.
No, that's where I think it'd be too much, right? I don't think Miles Morales is gonna show up in this movie, but I do think that yes, the spell works. But look, something happens, something is unleashed, right? That obviously all of these villains have been transferred from their universe to this one, you know, and they have it out for Spider-Man, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
By the way, is that supposed to be Doctor Strange?
I don't think it's supposed to be Doctor Strange. No, I don't think so.
Within the universe, like maybe they've made toys out of this dude.
No, but I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it's just supposed to kind of remind him. I don't think it's supposed to be necessarily Strange himself, right?
And what's this suit? This kind of gave me a very Black Panther vibe. It has a little bit of gold in it. I know they've released some close-ups. He's got this black suit with kind of gold in it. What do you think that is?
Oh, dude, I think that's the. I really do think that's going to be like a vibranium infused.
Ooh,
suit.
It's got a very Black Panther kind of look to it, almost from a distance at least, and the close up kind of gives off that vibe too. Let me see what we got here. It's under the suit, according to our producer Caiden. But okay, so this all happens. Yeah, look at the Sanctum over here. Yeah, that does look weird. I don't know who brought it up earlier, but yeah, that does look weird.
Right.
I mean, that's where
So Benson says Marvel takes 25% of all Sony Marvel revenue. Okay, but how much does Sony get from distributing the films? Because what has every MCU Spider-Man movie made? $1 billion.
No, only the second one did.
Oh, Homecoming didn't?
No, it made a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It made more more money than the first one did. It made a lot of money, but it wasn't $1 billion yet. The second one was $1 billion. Yeah. But still, like, there's no doubt. If there was no COVID, this is definitely a 1.5, 1.6, maybe, as you said, a $2 billion film. But, folks, you're going to have to go out there and support the film. Please, don't do – someone was joking. I don't know if they're being serious to just pirate it. Don't do that. This is look, I have HBO Max. Austin has HBO Max. Ty has HBO Max. And Caiden has HBO Max. All of us watched the Suicide Squad in the big screen. And we all went to see that IMAX Plus or IMAX. We didn't get the digital 2D showing. These movies, if you like these movies and you want them to keep coming out, you got to give them the support. And this is a movie worth watching on the big screen. Here we go. Here's Wong. Is Wong off on his way to Shang-Chi? Grew some hair out. Look at him.
I know, right? He's on his way to Shang-Chi. He's going on vacation. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, look on the far left. Is that Camertage there on the far left?
That's too.
That looks like Nepal almost. I could be wrong.
Could be. It's too. That's too much to assume for me. I can't tell that.
Maybe he's going. It's
just like China. A little.
He's going to China. But wherever he's off somewhere, and look at him, he's all dressed like an Eskimo. I'm curious, why the hell is it snowing in there? You figure there's something they could do to get rid of it. Something must have happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's
going on. By the way, I think this is a misdirect. The trailer kind of gives us the implication that Peter bothering Strange somehow screwed up the spell. I think something else happened. I think that's the way the trailer plays it off. Like, stop talking, stop tampering with the spell. I don't think it's Peter distracting him. I think something else happens and everything goes haywire. What do you think?
Yeah, look, that right there is where I think that
Drifter says Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that right there is where I think that that this might not be our Doctor Strange. Because one thing we do know, right, is he can cast a spell. That's the one thing that I think is a little off there.
Yeah.
Other than that,
he still got the necklace with the Eye of Agamotto, but that stone's destroyed. Am I right?
Is it? I don't know. I haven't seen. I gotta rewatch Doctor Strange actually.
So no, he had the Eye of Agamotto, which is the Time Stone, right? And as far as we know, Thanos, at least in this timeline, destroyed those stones. That's why they had to get back.
Oh, right.
Which is interesting. So does he still have that stone?
Let's see. Sadly, this isn't a Spider-Man movie anyway. Feige has crawled all over it for his own universe. I don't know. We'll see. I think if anything, this is going to be the most Spider-Man movie of the MCU Spider-Man movies. I did enjoy Far From Home a lot. It did not lean. I mean,
Toby's
the story. The story very much leans on Tony, right, and on other things. But I do like the growth of Holland in that film. I think there is growth. He learns not to lean. He learns to take over the tech himself, to do it himself, So I like there's growth there, and I liked that a lot. But I think this might be the most Spider-Man. Obviously, we're gonna have, and that's the thing, right? These villains aren't here to kill Tony. They're not here. They're not mad about something someone in the MCU did to them. These villains are mad at Spider-Man.
Yep.
They want Spider-Man. Right.
Now, is this the scene you were talking about? You think Doctor Strange might be fighting Spider-Man on the train?
Yes, I do think he's. Yes, I think he's fighting Spider-Man on this train. Yes, I do, and that's where I think this is going to be right. Like I said, there's going to be a disagreement amongst the two.
Well, that explains this one too, because it seems like what has he got his hand in?
Right.
Like he takes.
So that box is very important. I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything like that. But that box is a major thing of the movie, and I guess like I said, they're arguing over the box.
Okay, they're arguing over the box. All right. And so that looks like Manhattan right there. So that they're in New York.
Yes.
I don't think, Benson, that this is going to be a Doctor Strange centric movie. I do think he plays a prominent role, but I don't think it's going to be like Tony Stark, where he just helps out Spider-Man when Spider-Man can't do anything. Mm-hmm. But I think right here, what do you think this is? Is this the Parker apartment right here? We see a bunch of guys. They look like military or SWAT storming a house. Where do you think this is? I would think that something happens connecting it to this scene. Look right here. There's a scene here where they look like something's about to happen, and I think this might be.
Well, this could be this could be when he goes home that night. Actually, it looks like he's in the same clothing he is in the interrogation room in that scene.
Yeah.
So it could be when he goes home after the first opening scene, and it all hits the fan. The police decide to bring him in and question him and do all the 9 yards and stuff, and probably wasn't expecting all that. Let's see. Vulture's bring that Venom news. Yes. I hope No Way Home does not get delayed. I mean, that's what I think. It's probably going to be. Look, everybody's going to want to talk to him as far as the government is concerned. Yeah.
But here's the funny thing: doesn't the government kind of know because of Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D.? Nick Fury knows who he is.
Nick Fury knows who he is. How
much
involvement does the government have in S.H.I.E.L.D. now, though?
Yeah, but like Nick Fury, maybe that plays a role. But I guess we were forgetting, they're not mad at him because he's Peter Parker. They're mad at him because they think he destroyed London.
No,
and maybe the British are
no. They're mad at him. Excuse me, because they think he killed Mysterio.
Yeah, but then Mysterio blamed everything that happened on him. He said, no, he was in control of the drones. Remember that video he makes at the end of Far From Home? Like, hey, guys, I only have a few seconds left. This is Peter Parker's doing all this. So they think that Peter Parker had control of all this and did all this crap in Venice, did all this crap in London. So probably the international community is like, dude, hand this guy over to The Hague, the international. This guy's a war criminal. And he's just like, he's got too much power. He took Tony Stark's power because as far as the world within the MCU thinks, Mysterio was a hero. He's like Superman at the end of BVS. He died a hero. And he warned us about Peter Parker. And this is going to be a very lacked upon, difficult web to untangle for him.
I agree. And I think it's going to, I mean, look.
Intelligent puns like that.
I just want to bring, because I've been thinking about this movie, Jack, since it was announced. This has been Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel character. This has been my most anticipated. Literally, it took 2 full years to grow this, and just to get here. So, look, all these villains are coming into the multiverse, right? Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Lecter, all these. When you go back and rewatch the Spider-Man movies, most of those guys are dead, Jack.
Yeah.
Dafoe is dead.
Well, didn't
Doc Ock is
kind of stupidly leak what happens?
Doc Ock drowned. Doc Ock drowned. Electro became electricity. Willem
Dafoe got killed by his own glider.
Right. They were gruesome endings for these guys. So this is what makes it interesting for me as to how they're going to do all this, right? Either they're going to kill them again, like in the MCU, or that's going to make for a really interesting storyline.
Yeah.
That being the motivation of the villains of not only we're pissed because Spider-Man killed us and now we've got an opportunity to kill Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But they have a motivation to fight, because if they go back, if Strange sends them back and fixes everything, they go back to being dead. And so I think there is a very, interesting storyline to be played out there, and lots of cool motivations.
Kind of an aside. How long do you think this movie's going to be? It has to be at least a minimum 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah, 2.5 hours for sure. I'll be happy at 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'll be like, let's go, love it. Yeah.
Dude, I watched the Snyder Cut in one sitting. I watched Endgame in one sitting. This is the age of people sitting at home and streaming shit. There is no reason why I would be against a 3-hour movie. Honestly, I'm not against it. Do a 3-hour movie. Guys, just don't drink anything for 2 hours before the movie.
Right. I'll just say this, Rushman.
Hold on.
Come back to me after you see the movie. Or actually, I'll text it. I'll hit you up after the movie comes out. How's that?
I can't say it sounds dumb. Could they misfire and not do a good movie? Possibly. I don't think so. Because Marvel, I would say, sometimes makes mediocre stuff. They haven't made bad stuff. At least the MCU hasn't made anything that's bad. They might have made some stuff that wasn't.
There's maybe 2 that I'm like, it's not bad, but yeah. I mean, look, that's the thing, right? You cannot like the MCU for whatever reasons, and I totally get that, right? I don't like every movie in the MCU. Certainly don't like Captain Marvel and a few other films. But here's the thing, like, I guess you can have an opinion, but as like, I think most people agree. For people who have gone to film school, you and I, Jack, and other people who have studied film, like besides comic books and the MCU and DC stuff, like we actually watch other movies that are good. Marvel makes good movies. They make fundamentally good movies at the core. So
speaking of good movies, I might be thinking of doing for 2022 a 50-year look at The Godfather. I'll call Pop Culture 50 years of The Godfather. And one of the things I'm doing is, instead, I can't use the copyright music, so I'm going to record The Godfather music on my own guitar, and that's something we're thinking of doing. I might even get Mr. Owen Gleiberman involved in that. But that's what we're saying. I'm going to call it real cinema.
That would be awesome. And I would definitely be watching this.
I got that too. Dude, the 4K is coming out next year. Take my money.
No, take my money. I mean, I already love this, and I love that this comes with that awesome.
Narrator like this, Austin. I'm gonna do the whole show next year like this. There we go. Look at that right there. Look at that. That's one of my favorite posters right there.
I love
46 years old. He plays a 60-year-old man.
I hope that the 4K comes with as many discs. I just love. There's like 5 discs to this thing, 4 discs, and I love it.
That's the restoration, right?
Yes. And there's a personal like message from Coppola, like booklet, and yes, I love The Godfather. Did you see the new Michael Corleone cut?
No, Dakota. Is any good? Because I didn't like the third one.
I do like the third one.
It's not a bad movie. It's just that Pacino changed too much. Like Pacino, like you watch like Godfather 1 and 2, it's like, Fredo, you're my brother.
Right.
But like by the 80s, Pacino started acting like Pacino, like, oh yeah, hoo-ah! He started talking like this in every movie. And then Godfather 3, he's talking like this. I kind of missed it's like, you're out, Tom. I kind of missed that old Pacino, and I didn't like his hair. And then Sofia Coppola. As far as I'm concerned, the movie ends with The Godfather 2. Speaking of Spider-Man, I would love if like Peter's like, what's that old movie? Godfather.
By the way, what was it? The Godfather? Oh, John Favreau.
Here we got Happy, and look behind Happy. You see those SWAT guys or Special Forces guys. You see the red lasers, by the way. Like, wherever Happy is, he's in the same spot where this is happening. At least that's the way that.
Yes.
So absolutely. I don't know. Maybe he's on his way to get some sugar from Aunt May. And okay, so that comic.
Did you see some what?
Day, or is it in Civil War? The comic where Aunt May dies. She gets killed.
One more day.
One more day. Do you see a situation where he loses her? I mean, could this movie get that heavy? I want it to get heavy. I need Marvel to be a little bit heavier. But do you think it's a possibility? Like, look at Happy right there. He's like, I lost the only girl I've ever known. Kind of look to his face.
I don't know. I mean, I do. Look, I don't want to say, but I definitely know some things about the movie, and I don't want to give any spoilers. But it's gonna be.
It's talking about your reason the villain's being pissed.
Right. I meant. Well, yeah. Again, come back to me after you see the movie, buddy.
What's that old movie, Spider-Man 2002?
Right. What's that old movie? Right. It's like in Infinity War, drawing off aliens and other movies.
This is the best I could do. You think that's Lizard, Dr. Connors, right there?
Yes, I think that's Lizard. Okay, hold on. Hey, Caiden, maybe you can pull up the little GIF or whatever that.
That's lit up. Yeah, I've made the GIF of Lizard. So, which Lizard do you think it is? Do you think it's the one from the Amazing Spider-Man? Because there was a Dr. Connors in the Raimi films. We just never saw him become Spider-Man.
Yep.
So which one do you think it is? I don't know. Maybe it's a third Lizard.
I do think it's the Amazing Spider. Somebody made a good case. I think it was Jarbo. Jarbo made a good case, and I was like, okay, that would be really cool if it was Dylan Baker.
Dylan Baker, that's his name.
And I was like, ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. And I'd really, really like that.
I like Dylan Baker a lot. He's a very underrated actor. Forgettable sometimes, but he's a good actor.
Right. But yeah, I know. Look, I know. Look, Rushman, Prakash, I know you guys are MCU haters. Like, that's fine.
Wait till you guys see my Jack Attack. You'll like it.
You guys can have can hate all you want, but at this point, like, I just feel like, if you're not happy with. If you're finding stuff to complain about No Way Home, dude, just stay home, don't watch the movies, and give up. Honestly, if you're complaining about the No Way Home trailer, stay home and just give up. You're not going to enjoy. You're just ruining it for yourself and other people who are having a great time enjoying it. I think that.
Gosh, I would say that, to be honest with you, to some not deep logical reasoning, I would say that's more applied to Snyder's DC films. I think Snyder was trying to go for that, for better or worse, whether he did it or not. I don't think Marvel's really trying to make Chris Nolan movies. Like, Chris Nolan's Dark, like, that's where directors are tempted. Maybe with the Eternals, with Chloe Zhao, she's an Oscar-winning director. Eternals might be more of that.
I cannot wait. And I know you said, right, the No Way Home trailer sparked your rehyped you up for the MCU. Yeah. The Eternals trailer rehypes me up. I was like,
do it for me. It didn't get my nipples hard.
It got mine hard, pointy, and through the room before I walked in it. Like, I'm telling you, I was excited. The rain was, man, it was going crazy. Look, I thought it was super cool, like, to see this stuff about the deviants. Again, there's I don't know much about the Eternals, but I've watched some breakdowns. Ty has one on the channel as well. You can check out, and it piques my interest. I'm like, yeah, this is something. The reason why I liked Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Snyderverse was I was very intrigued and love the idea of gods among men, gods versus men. How do they live among us, and that whole like thing. I thought it was great. And I'm interested to see the MCU's take on it. I think that concept
just said that you look like Manny Pacquiao. Now I kind of see. I think it's because of the beard.
I love it. Benson. I think I said.
I think you look like the kid from Cobra Kai.
Dude, I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
But Adnuhab, Adnan, Rushnan. I'm gonna call you Adnan. Is that cool? Just Adnan. I have trouble.
Rush.
So we're practically paisanos. I would say that a lot of Marvel movies in the past, like I would say that Daredevil, that movie was a cash grab. X-Men 3 kind of felt like a cash grab, or like maybe X-Men Origin Wolverines. But I do think that a lot of the MCU movies have heart within them. And this is someone who didn't like Black Widow, who did not really like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't think, yes, obviously money is the bottom line. The reason we get this content is because it makes money. But I do think that the people behind it, like guys like Kevin Feige, whether it's the Russo brothers or who directs the Spider-Man movies, the new ones? What the hell's his name?
John Watts.
Like they do put their heart and soul into it. It may not be what you're looking for. Like earlier, Prakash was saying I need something more deep, logical. I agree with you. I would like that too. But I don't think that's necessarily what they're going for. That's what Chris Nolan does, with his Batman movies. He's trying to make a larger point, or even whatever Zach was trying to do in BBS. Like I said, maybe it failed, maybe it didn't fail. Phase 4 has been extremely rough. Hi, you know what? This may be a bad time to get in my Jack Attack because it still ties in with the MCU. So those of you who are hating on Marvel, you might like what I have to say with my Jack Attack. You know what? Let's get to it. All right, Austin, it's time for you.
Man. I can't wait.
All right, guys, it's time for the Jack Attack. All you guys hating on Marvel over there, all of you guys mad at Marvel, you're going to like what I have to say. So let me get rid of all right. Hi, here we go. So this is, for those of you who don't know, Jack Attack is sort of like a pre-recorded rant I do in the lines of Bill Maher's New Rules. So enjoy it. And if you're angry, that's good. If you're happy, that's good too. It'll make you feel something. It's a 5-minute editorial. Please stay tuned. Please give me your. Let's see if I remember how to do this. It's been a while. Shang-Chi needs to blow my socks away. It can't be good. It can't be decent. It can't be okay. It needs to be effing amazing. I've been pretty blunt about my thoughts of Phase 4 so far. I haven't dug it. It's horribly formulaic, preachy, and when it does attempt to do something interesting, it's sadly predictable from the moment go. We already know what's going to happen. But see, that's not just the issue. The truth is, we all knew the basic story for what the Snyder Cut was going to be, and it's still delivered with style, energy, and emotion. Only Loki has been the MCU product that has blown any air up my skirt. And even that ended in a cliffhanger to keep you subscribed till we wait to see the story actually unfold next year. But I digress. Marvel has had its ups and downs. However, whenever a new phase started, it always started with a bang. Phase 2 started with Iron Man 3. And while I didn't like Iron Man 3, it made a ton of bank and was salvaged by Robert Downey Jr. carrying the weight. Remember the meh reaction to Age of Ultron? Yeah, I do. But how did Phase 3 start? It started with Civil War. Say what you will about that film now. 6 years ago, it was a shot of adrenaline that reinvigorated the MCU. Now, it's been 2 years since Endgame. And while Far From Home served as an excellent epilogue, Phase 4 for me has been as exciting as a wet firecracker. By no means are they bad or atrocious. They are just lazy. The writing, the story, the drama, all feels so forced. I know I may be in the minority here, but I know I'm not alone. Why? Because the two most talked about comic book films in 2021 weren't even Marvel. One was a retooled director's cut of a 4-year-old movie, and the other was James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Now, I look forward to Shang-Chi, a movie that is truly an underdog if there ever was one. But it can't just be decent. It can't just be by the numbers. It needs to do something different. The formula needs to change. And no, making a cast Asian isn't changing the formula, nor is it groundbreaking. The story needs to pack a punch. The villain needs to be scary. The stakes have to feel real. The lead actor has to be commanding. And yes, the martial arts have to be stunning. Not good, not decent, not passable, but stunning. But I do worry that Shang-Chi will be another fart in the wind. Every actor will be making jokes. The villain will be another in a long line of boring, generic Bond villain wannabes. Prove me wrong, Marvel. I've been with you for 27 years. Make this the film that breaks the mold. Make this the film that reminds us why the MCU is king. Because remember, you're at the top of the hill. And sadly, when you're on top of the hill, there's only one way to go.
I like it. I think you're muted though. You might want to turn your.
Yeah, I gotta unmute my. For some reason, when I put the video up, I have to mute myself. Otherwise, you can hear me like sniffling and stuff like that. But yeah, so I kind of wanted to tie this into Shang-Chi because we're talking about box office. Do you think? Obviously, I think Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be good at the box office, pandemic or not. It may not make as much money as it would have in a COVID-free world. But I don't know. I'm not that. How do I put it? Excited about Shang-Chi than I thought I would be. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's not just me because obviously I think No Way Home is going to kill it. But after Black Widow, I'm worried that Shang-Chi is just going to be a blip. It's going to be like Captain Marvel. It might make money, but it's going to be forgotten in 2 weeks. Here come the Eternals. And I think that Marvel really had an opportunity to really shine here. Like, just make a really good story. I hope the villain is good. They haven't really had a good villain since Thanos and who's the kid from Black Panther? Michael B. Jordan. Mysterio was decent, but I don't know. What do you think, my friend? I know you got to go.
I do. Unfortunately, have to split here in a couple minutes. But look, I do think I think there's just some people in this world. Look, you could be right. I think Shang-Chi is going to impress. I personally think Shang-Chi is going to be it's going to be as big as like Black Panther and those types of things, right? There has not been an Asian superhero-led film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is it. I'm very excited, even though I know very little about the character.
He was based on Bruce Lee.
Right. But I am excited for it, honestly. And that last trailer got me a little more excited as well. I do think, man, I think there's just going to be some people, and I'm not you specifically. I think for other people, like
Black Widow also, right? Like you and I were not crazy.
I didn't like Black. I didn't like Black Widow that much, but
which is a shame. They're just something really cool.
I think there are just some people that are always, never going to be happy and always because look, I think. Look, these are good movies, man. They're good movies. And, somebody said that they don't make you think. You know what? I just rewatched Thor Ragnarok yesterday. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, yes, it's got its moments of campiness and goofiness and Taika Waititi. Yeah. But if it doesn't make you think, about, that whole movie for me, it's about, he leans on the hammer. He leans on being the son of Odin. He leans on being all of these other things besides the god of thunder. And he comes into his own. Absolutely, it makes you think. It makes you think, other film, Black Panther. Dude, if Black Panther didn't make you think, there might be something wrong there. I'll just be honest. If Black Panther did not make you think, I'm sorry. You might want to rethink some other things. So, you can call it, and yes, sometimes it gets preachy and stuff. I know we disagree on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier thing. Even though I do think that show overall was underwhelming, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. When he did give that Captain America speech and all that, I know you thought it was a little preachy.
Yeah.
I loved it. For me, it felt that was exactly what Captain America, I don't care what color he was. It could have been Chris Evans saying that same exact speech, and people wouldn't have called it preachy because no. But you made some good points as and the MCU, of course.
I think
the MCU, of course, wants to.
Something cool. I was a little bit disappointed. Like, I have no idea. What's the name of this actor who's playing Shang-Chi? I forgot what his name is. It's Sam something. Am I right? Sam Liu something, whatever his name is. I'm surprised they didn't get a martial artist. Like, there are a lot of martial arts stars, especially in the Hong Kong film market. You know, we're familiar with Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Tony Liu. What's the name of the guy who's in the Expendables? What's his name? He's older now. Jet Li. And I was kind of hoping that they could have taken an actual Hong Kong actor and converted him into superstardom. Because one of the cool things about martial arts movies that they always kind of promote is that this guy you're seeing knows martial arts. He's not an actor pretending to know martial arts. And I thought it would have been a good opportunity, especially to get, let's say, a Chinese actor from China. I know he's Chinese, but from China, someone who is hot over there. There's a lot of hot actors over there, and bring them into the MCUs and actually have them showcase their martial arts skills. Because so far with the fight scenes I've seen, I got to say I'm not as impressed as I thought I would be. I know it's not just a martial arts movie, but part of the thing that they're doing is like it's kung fu, it's Chinese ancient martial arts, and everything just kind of looks, imagine if they had Jackie Chan 20 years ago. Bolo Young, Benson, my man remembers Bolo Young. But like there's a good market of strong Asian actors. Because look, he's not the selling point of this movie, right? It's not like, oh, this movie stars this guy. They could have gotten an Asian actor, maybe not necessarily Chinese, but someone from with a martial arts background, and that could have been really showcased. Like, this dude is fighting. Like, when you watch Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Bolo Young, you're seeing guys do their own stunts, their own fight scenes, because they know how to fight and they can sell it. I thought that was a missed opportunity. Black Panther is one-faced. Yo, take this. Think, buddy. Think. That's dumb. What are you saying?
Hey, man, and I'll just say that if that's your opinion, and your opinion is also that, thank God you're not the definer of cinema. I'll just put that that way.
And here's the thing. I kind of agree with what he's saying a little bit to some degree, but I don't think Marvel's trying to be that. It's not trying to be the Godfather or a Kurosawa movie.
And if you're looking at it that way, go find another movie. Like, that's not what
I think you got to shut your brain off. But still, given that, I wasn't a big fan of Black Widow. WandaVision, in hindsight, I liked it, hated it. Now I'm kind of looking back and I'm like, I feel like they were trying to do something different. They didn't stick the landing, but I still watch them. Nothing, I've said, MCU hasn't made anything bad, in my opinion. Stuff that's mediocre, forgettable, yes. Bad. Not like Fantastic Four or the original or the reboot or like the 2003 Daredevil film. Or not
like some other movies,
Yeah. Not like like Suicide Squad, the
2000. Not like 2016 Suicide Squad or
I'm a big guy, by the way.
Right. Well, there you go.
So I'm gonna let Austin go. Austin's got another. Austin, tell us a little bit more about tonight's show. I know we're starting up pretty soon.
Yeah, so make sure be back at 5:00 Pacific Standard, 8:00 Eastern for CinemaCon, the Warner Brothers presentation. That's gonna be awesome. Hopefully,
no, Austin's leaving, Prakash.
Right.
We'll make fun of him after he leaves. Don't leave.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I know. I got all the guys that I've been arguing with for weeks in the chat now.
We love it. We engage with you. We have nothing against anyone over different opinions.
No. I don't have anything against anyone. I just do think at this point, like, dude, come on. If you're really out there criticizing like the No Way Home trailer. And I know I never said Prakash was, I know he said, but I just think that's like come on, like how that's literally everything you could ever want in a movie. It looks good, it looks fun, it looks entertaining.
You're making the point you made with the Suicide Squad. Some people were already hating it without seeing it, and look, you can watch and be like, I didn't like it.
You'll hate it without seeing it.
No, Austin, sir.
Anyways, yeah, guys. But make sure to be back tonight. CinemaCon coverage, Warner Brothers. We don't know what could happen. Hopefully, it'd be cool to see some DC stuff, but we don't know. I can tell you, there's definitely going to be some Matrix 4 stuff. which I can't wait. Matrix 4, baby, and then obviously probably some more Dune stuff, all that and yeah. But yeah, guys, make sure and tune in tonight. Check that out, and that's it for me, Jack. I know you'll kill it.
Make sure September 6th, Lean on Me starts Mondays at what time?
At 7:30. Actually, it would be at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time.
So at 10:30 Eastern Standard, 7:30 Pacific Time. Use your iPhone to calculate when that will be.
That'd be sick. I really, I know I keep saying I gotta go, but I really hope for some DC stuff. But I think it's gonna be. They're probably gonna save it for fandom. I mean, I know if I were in charge, I'd be saving it for fandom. Too. Look at the other, but look, also if I were them, I would also maybe tease a little something, right? Maybe a Batman second trailer. It's been about a year now.
Oh my God!
Jack, breathe.
I forgot about that.
But yeah. Alrighty, guys, we'll see you. Make sure to stick around. Show Jack some love. Hit him up in the comments, and yeah, much love, guys. We'll see you later.
All right, man. Thank you. All right. It's just you and me. Now, where's Adnan? Adnan, let me address some of the things you're saying. Benson, for Shang-Chi from the raid. Ooh, that would have been cool. Benson, why is your comment not coming up? There we go. Yeah. See, someone like that could have been in Shang-Chi. Don't you guys miss this? Well, I don't know if you guys were around when I used to host TY's Corner. It was just me. Ty was taking some time off. He had a family emergency, so I took over TY's Corner, and then I kept doing TY's Corner once it came back, and then they made a blunder. They gave me my own show. But here we go. Caiden, my producer, is in the background. But let me address some of these comments. Here we go. Black Adam tease. Austin's a good kid. He's just passionate about what he likes. Exactly. So we're not like here at Pop Culture Corner. We're not one of those cancel culture people. Like we don't like you. We're gonna get rid of you out of the chat. At least we're not like that at all. Adnan, I kind of see what you're saying. I would like some more Marvel movies to be a little bit more, a tad bit intellectual. I don't want an art house film. But I would like the only comic book movie that I consider a true masterpiece. I'm not saying it's the only good one. A true masterpiece is The Dark Knight, because Chris Nolan is telling you this story about good guys versus bad guys, and he's playing with different themes. He's playing with the idea of the doppelganger, that the Batman and Joker are cut from the same coin, and then there's a physical coin that shows you two sides of the same coin. There's a lot of political stuff going on in The Dark Knight, and it's all under the guise of the Batman versus the Joker. I consider that a masterpiece. Like that's a movie that should have won Best Picture. I would like to see more of that Marvel. So that's where I don't know, Adnan, how you feel about the Netflix stuff, because I thought Daredevil, the Netflix's Daredevil, beautiful. The way they used Renaissance art to kind of help in their cinematography. There's a lot of deep themes in the first and only 3 seasons of Daredevil that I wish I would see more of in the MCU. I agree. I would like more of that. I would, in the same way that I thought the first 2 X-Men movies kind of dealt with. The first 2 X-Men movies made by Fox, made by Bryan Singer, who's kind of a jerk, but those movies were really good. The guy did have a sense of direction. And again, they were pushing other things about racism and stuff like that. Now it's kind of like every movie does it now. Every show does it now. But when X-Men did it, it was kind of new and refreshing. It was taking comic books seriously. I would like to see more of that. That's why those of you who love Daredevil, or Charlie Cox's Daredevil, who love D'Onofrio's Kingpin, who love John Bernthal's Punisher, I am actually kind of apprehensive about Disney making it. Because look, Disney made a deal with Netflix, but Netflix picked their own writers. Netflix picks their own showrunners. Those were very much Netflix productions, which means they got to push the edge. Daredevil was just violent, had a couple of cuss words here and there, didn't show any nudity or anything. I'm not saying that's what I need for it to be a good movie, but when Daredevil was in a fight, it looked like a fight. He's bleeding. He's limping. The hallway fight in season 1, the Punisher hallway fight in season 2 in the prison, the prison sequence in season 3 where Matt Murdock escapes. I would like that attention paid to some of the movies. Now, I will give credit to the Russo brothers, what they did with The Winter Soldier. A lot of people love The Winter Soldier and forget the message that movie had. It talks about the surveillance state, the idea of Americans giving up their freedom for the illusion of security. And whose plan was that? That was Hydra's plan. What the Roosters are saying is that, so those of you who are old enough to remember 9/11, which we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of, After 9/11, we had the Patriot Act, right? And that's where the surveillance started. For better or worse, I'm not saying it's good or bad. It just existed. The Winter Soldier is saying, hey, this is kind of like what the Hydra did. Hydra is using fear to control. There was a lot to talk about the Winter Soldier. I would like to see more Marvel movies touch on stuff like that. I thought Black Widow was going to do that. Talk about the Cold War. Yeah, you have a fun action movie, but there's stuff to talk about within that. And they kind of did it. And Falcon Winter Soldier, I had my issues with it. I thought it was preachy, redundant. I thought Austin and Ty loved the speech Sam Wilson gave. I thought it was boring. I thought it was just sort of like, it kind of reminds me like when you go to like a political convention and they're like, everything that went right is because of us, and we're going to put people back to work. And no. I was like, I thought it was a bad speech. I don't know. It has nothing to do with Sam Wilson. He was great. But to me, Sam Wilson was Captain America at the end of Endgame when he had the shield. And it seemed like they need to create some content. Like, all right, how does he have the shield, but then he loses it, and then he gets it back? Okay, fine. And the whole fact that the whole series was created because of that airport scene in Civil War, yeah. But let me get back to comments. Here we go. Ill Life, here we go. Bro, don't get me started on Daredevil is on another level. It's really good. That's why I don't know if Disney would give you that level of writing. Disney might make Daredevil more like the 2003 film, for lack of a better analogy. That's where I'm kind of worried about. Like, I'm glad they're bringing Charlie Cox in, but chances are they're going to have safe Disney writers, safe Disney directors, like whoever the hell made Black Widow. They're going to have people like that make a Daredevil movie. You're not going to get the good fight scenes. You're not going to get I'm even kind of worried about what they do to Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, because in the show, he was scary. Like, you both kind of liked him, and you kind of felt empathy for the Kingpin, but you were terrified of him. The first time we see the Kingpin lose his shit in Daredevil, he puts a dude's head into the side of an SUV and slams the door. He slammed until the dude's decapitated. Now, do I think we need that in the MCU? No. But the Kingpin is very ruthless and scary. And I don't, even though D'Onofrio is going to be in Hawkeye, I believe, I don't see the MCU. They'll turn, and so far, with the exception of Thanos, maybe Killmonger, Marvel villains aren't scary. Loki is considered the greatest villain, but is he really a villain anymore? He's kind of been an anti-hero since Thor: The Dark World. I mean, yeah, he's done some bad things subsequently, but he's kind of been, you know, he's not really evil. Like, that's what the whole point of the Loki show was, that deep down, he's a hurt little boy who wanted daddy's approval, and he did these things for attention, but he truly is not an evil person. He actually wants to save the multiverse because he's the hero. So he's not really a villain. I know people say, well, what about him in the first Avengers? Not really a villain anymore. Aside from Thanos and Killmonger, and look, I have my issues with Killmonger. I didn't think that people kind of hyped it up a little bit. I disagree with Austin about Black Panther being as hyped as it was, but rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I really miss you. I wish you were back. But Marvel's not really good with the villains. It's arguable that the best villain ever in any Marvel was Magneto from the X-Men movies with Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender. Excellent villain. I don't see that level of villain writing. So if Daredevil and Kingpin were to be brought into the greater MCU, don't expect at least the quality of writing that was in the Netflix shows. I'm not talking about just violence or nudity or anything. Don't expect that level of tension. I mean, there's a scene in Daredevil season 2 where Matt Murdock goes to visit Kingpin, and he knows Kingpin is like running things in jail, and he knows the Kingpin let the Punisher out. And what does Kingpin do? He grabs the dude's head and starts banging it against the table and just busts up Matt Murdock's face. And the guards don't do anything. They're just terrified of Wilson Fisk. Even the guards are on Fisk's payroll. He just takes Matt Murdock's head and smashes it. And you're like, dude, this guy's in jail and he's still powerful. And then the guards come in to escort Matt Murdock out. I'm like, that is good writing. The monologues he gives, that, going back to Don's point, is I would like to see more of that in the MCU. I'd like to see Thanos' dialogue in Infinity War. Phenomenal. He has this crazy idea that makes no sense, but you buy it. And that's what a good villain does. The Joker's plan is that I'm going to create chaos, and that's it. But you buy it because of good writing. Magneto in the X-Men movies, right? Say what we will about them. You buy his argument. He's basically a fascist who wants to, he's a racist or a speciesist or whatever you want to call it. He wants to get rid of all humanity, but you buy it. Not you agree with it, but you buy it. You're like, yeah, I get it. This guy's a Holocaust survivor and he sees the same thing happening. Screw humanity. I get where he's coming from. You don't really get that from the MCU movies. Now, there are relatable villains. Michael Keaton in Spider-Man Homecoming. Mysterio, I don't know how I felt with Mysterio. I didn't hate him, but I wasn't threatened by him. I don't know. Jake Gyllenhaal gave a great performance, and there's nothing wrong with the performances. Hela was kind of close to being a scary villain in Thor Ragnarok, but Thor Ragnarok has more of a comedic vibe to it. So while I like Thor Ragnarok, I wasn't scared of Hela as much as I think I could have been. Malekith, forget about it in Thor the Dark World. The Mandarin, forget about it. Obadiah Stane, the first movie, not a bad villain, but not a great villain. A good villain almost convinces you to take his side. That's what's so great about like The Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader scene with Luke Skywalker. You know, he's like, join me and we can fix the galaxy. Just join the dark side. You almost want to agree with the villain. That's what makes this guy's performance so freaking legendary in that movie. It's not just a performance. You kind of see where he's coming from. The Joker in The Dark Knight predicts the ending. He says, look, they need you now, but they're going to drop you as soon as things become comfortable. And that's exactly what happens. They got uncomfortable with Batman, and they turned on Batman. The Joker was kind of right and kind of won in The Dark Knight. Batman and Gordon had to cover up all of the Joker's murders and Harvey Dent's murders to prove that Batman was right. Batman was not right. That's what a good villain does. Magneto, even through the third film, even through Michael Fassbender in X-Men Origins, in X-Men Days of Future Past, you kind of see his point. You don't agree with him, but you're like, yeah, I can kind of get why he hates humanity. Killmonger. You kind of see his point. Again, I didn't agree with all the politics that movie was trying to shove down your throat, but you were like, okay, I see where this dude is coming from. He's supposed to be a prince, and he was abandoned, and he's kind of linking that to what he considers the African-American experience in America. There was something else going on there. Negan is a prime example of that. Oh, in Walking Dead, absolutely. That's a good villain. And so even though I'm excited that the Daredevil stuff is coming into Disney, I don't know if we'll see that level of writing in MCU. So going back to Nan, what you're saying, yeah, to some degree, whether you love him or hate him, you might hate him, but you have to admit that Zack Snyder was trying to do that with his movies. He may have failed at it. He might have gotten some of the characters wrong, but with Man of Steel, BVS, and the Snyder Cut, he was trying to kind of break these characters apart. He was trying to deconstruct Batman. He was trying to deconstruct Superman. And I do not hate you if you didn't like those movies. I get why you don't like those movies. But at least he was trying to kind of intellectualize, like, what if Superman was real in a post 9/11 world? He would not be welcomed as a hero. People would be scared of him. Lex Luthor would be scared of him. Humanity would be scared of him. What if Batman was pushed to the point where he broke? He'd become a killer. He'd become psychopathic. That was some of the stuff Zack was trying out. He may have failed. Some people like me, I think he succeeded in. I like what Zack Snyder was trying to do, but you may not like those movies. Totally understandable. I keep looking at the comments, and I keep forgetting that Austin isn't here. But here we go. Come on, hit me. First Class is so underrated. Exactly. And by the end of that movie, you kind of get where Fassbender's Magneto is coming from. Eric Lenscher, you're like, yeah, I see where you're coming from. The First Class third movie. I like how you wrote the third movie. So is that X-Men Apocalypse? Is that what it's called? Apocalypse? And I don't know what that third one was that was called. Have aged as well as I had previously anticipated. Very good. They were going to make a post. So do you know that originally, the original plan, they wanted Christian Bale's Batman to tie into what Snyder was going to do, but Bale said no, so they rebooted Batman, but it got canceled. Yeah. Nolan really, I give props to Nolan. Nolan could be making Dark Knight movies till Kingdom Come, but Nolan basically said, no, I'm done. I made my story. I'm moving on. I'm not a huge fan of The Dark Knight Rises. I felt it lacked the energy of the second film, but I'm not that crazy about Bane in that movie too, and that's because he's white and he was supposed to be Hispanic. That doesn't care to me, but like, I didn't think Black Panther. Oh, that's just you agree with everything, Justin. Hey, Justin, Mr. Hines. Who's this? Guys, Big Drip is here. What's up?
The third movie is Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. That's the one. Yeah, I think that's. I love how you call it the X-Men First Class third movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the.
But would that be the fourth one? Because Days of Future Past is kind of a sequel to First Class, but also a sequel to X-Men 3. So it's just kind of in a weird place.
It's one of those. Days of Future Past is like, it's X-Men 4 but X-Men First Class 2. But I think it's X-Men 4 because it has the X-Men 3 cast.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know how you got. I loved X-Men First Class. I would have been okay if they had kept making the X-Men 4 family of films, like with that Cyclops, with that Jean Grey. I love Famke Johnson.
I liked First Class, and hot take, I actually liked Apocalypse.
Yeah. And I love, First Class. When I saw Wolverine's cameo, I was like, oh, he's in the movie now. It's going to become a Wolverine movie. And he just did it for one scene because it was risky to make an X-Men movie without Wolverine because the general audiences love Wolverine. And he's like, go F yourselves. It's like he's speaking to the audience like, nope, I'm not in this movie. Go away.
He's speaking to Fassbender and McAvoy. At the same time, he's speaking to us, the audience, as well.
He's telling the audience,
he's like, I'm not in this movie. I'm not going to be in the next movie either. I'm not going to be in the.
Did he show up in Apocalypse at the end?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I think no. Yes.
Yeah,
I believe so. He was like he had like the he was like the it was like the first X-Men look that he had in like the comics where he had like this big chunky visor on him and like all this chunky stuff on him. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's true.
I don't want ill life. I don't want to get into another Zack Snyder. We've been talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League for a year now. I love it. The most expensive movie. We've gone over this conversation before. We don't know how it would have turned out. Justin Hines. So here's what's interesting. You know what they've done to Storm? First of all, Storm is supposed to be from Africa. And look, Halle Berry is a talented actress, but Storm is supposed to have very African features. And yes, people from Africa, within the continent of Africa, have different features. Somalis have different features. Some Nigerians have different features. From Kenya, I have family in Kenya. They have different features. They just cast a black woman who was really popular, which was Halle Berry, and made her Storm. And I liked what they did in
First Class. I like what they did in Apocalypse with Storm, where she was first introduced as a Apocalypse fourth horseman.
Oh yeah, I forgot who that actress is. She's supposed to be. She's supposed to be a young Halle Berry, right?
Yeah,
that's supposed to be the same one.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the new Halle Berry rebooted Storm.
You know what's funny, real quick? Halle Berry had an accent in X-Men 1, and then X-Men 2 it's gone. He lost it faster than you could say Wanda Maximoff. Boom!
Yeah, like at least in the MCU they had a reason why Wanda lost it because she's undercover, but in X-Men they're just like, you can stop. Yeah, I think there's a comic run where Storm and Black Panther do marry, and they have a son, I believe, or not. Yeah. Or like it's believed that it's T'Challa's son, but because Storm be having babies with Wolverine too.
Yeah. Also, the baby comes out really hairy.
Yeah. It's like
this is not my son.
This is not my. They go to what's the guy's name on the TV show? That the DNA. You're not the father, or you are the father.
Oh yeah, Mari.
Mari,
Mari, or is it like Jerry Springer? Like, yeah, Mari, you are not the father. And T'Challa's like,
you're not the father. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No. It's like,
and then Wolverine's like, hey, my kid, I ain't taking care of him.
Yeah. It's like, oh my
Wolverine
God.
comes off as racist because he's like from 1800 Canada.
Right. He's that's the other thing. Like, I wonder how they're gonna cast Wolverine in the MCU, because if you think about it, he's from the 1800s. He's from the 1700s Canada, and during the 1700s Canada, his father is a white colonist while his mother is a native to Canada, and native Canadians are like Native Americans. They're light skinned.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're
Gardener's son. He's the gardener's son.
Yeah, he's the because the
gardener. When the movie, they made him look like Sabretooth, but in the comic origins, he looks like Wolverine. The mom was Chupin the gardener, and that's where Wolverine came from. Yeah. But now, honestly, the MCU, again, that's another character, Wolverine, I'm kind of worried about. Because if you didn't think he was violent enough in the Fox movies, he's probably not going to be. You ever watch the X-Men animated series? Wolverine never killed them.
Yeah, there's a rumor that he's not going to be, like they're going to try to do more comic accurate with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Be like starting off with he's not part of the X-Men.
Yeah.
And where he's, an anti-hero going off by himself, possibly teams with Spiderman, possibly.
I gotta address one thing.
Okay.
Folks, I know he's 5'3" in the comics. I'm telling you, on screen, it's not gonna look good.
It's not gonna look good if he's 5'3" in the actual.
He's not gonna look domineering. And like the thing about Jackman, he was 6'4". That he's taller. Yeah. He's taller than Affleck, taller than Cavill, and he looked like a beast. Getting a guy who's 5'3" up against, let's say, people who are
if you can find a dominating 5'3" person, a 5'3" actor, then give him to me.
Yeah.
And then start him working out, and then let's audition him for Logan in the MCU.
Yeah. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I think on screen it's going to be very weird when everyone's like up here and he's down here. I'm not making fun of short people or anything like that.
No.
I'm only 5'10" and a half, but like for the character to look dominant, he's got to be a little bit taller. That's why they'll never cast a 5'7" Superman or a 5'10" Batman.
Like that, I kind of like. That's my only problem with Wolverine in the comics, that he's short but he looks like a super buff, tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's super short.
They always get away with that. They always like frame in a way where he looks just as tall.
Yeah.
Look, do you know that almost every American president in the modern age is always over 6 foot?
Yep.
I'm not saying that's what's important, but people like that. People like that Reagan was taller than Gorbachev. They like that Kennedy looked taller than Nixon. It's a stupid thing. It shouldn't matter. But you will not have short presidents. Trump 6'4", Obama 6'2". Bush was probably the shortest. He was like 6 foot exactly. This stuff makes a difference. Whoever looks taller looks more dominating. I'm not saying that's how it is in real life, but from optics point of view, especially in comics and film, you want someone who's going to be tall at 6'1", 6'2" minimum. I mean, look how
Pesci to play Logan.
Yeah. Mayweather's only 5'8", and look how small he looked compared to Logan Paul.
Right.
By the way, Logan Paul was on Monday Night Raw last night. He got booed out of the building. People were not letting him talk. It was, and Mayweather, no one's doubting his fighting capability. I'm not saying a short guy can't fight. Look at Sly Stallone, 5'6". But when you put Stallone up against, let's say, Schwarzenegger, who was 6'2" in his prime, you automatically notice a difference. You know, like that dude looks scary. That dude looks intimidating. Oh, is Austin back?
Is Austin back?
I'm back. Surprise.
We're talking about the height of actors.
The height of actors?
Yeah,
like
I'm saying
like tiny Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You know what?
Cruise, they always try to put stilts on it. I've heard that Tom Cruise is actually shorter than we think. He's always got like really tall boots on.
Oh, he got some boots. He got some boots. Not like boots, but he got like.
You guys saw
Stewie.
He's about Stewie height. I believe I've seen him bathing. I believe I've seen him bathing in a like bird fountain a couple times.
Look,
right. Bet just said that was quick. Yeah, real quick. So I'll just let you know what happened. Right. So I've had something on OfferUp on sale for like months. Okay. And out of nowhere, I get this message from this dude that was gonna buy the same last week, and then it was like, I can't do it anymore. But he hit me up and he's like, hey, I can buy it and I'm in your area. Can you meet me now? And I was like, yes. Money. Yes. Money. So I had to go and do that real quick.
Oh, okay, that's cool. No, we were talking about like how they introduced Wolverine. I know that everyone says like Justin's talking about how Wolverine's 5'3" in the comics, but Caiden makes the point every time they draw him, they make him like look tall and lean and they don't look 5'3". And I'm saying from an optics standpoint on film, you're not going to want a 5'3" Wolverine. Look, even like action heroes.
Unless you're going to have the camera at someone's waist line.
Yeah.
You're not, or belly line. Or
exactly. Or
you're not going to get a good shot.
Not in Vegas, Benson. Not in Vegas.
Kiefer Sutherland and Bruce Willis are about 5'8", 5'9". When they had scenes with taller actors, they would actually have a box for them to step on. So like Kiefer Sutherland 24, because he was the main action hero, they always had him stand on something. They look like a badass, and that's what they're going to do in the film. So you might as well get someone who's 6'1" or 6'2".
Yeah, I think there's also like a study where it's more expensive to get short stand-ins rather than an actual stand-in that's 5'5" and up.
Yeah,
like first like stand-in actors.
He's not going to look good. Like at 5'3" because of the height.
No.
Like if you get buff, you're not going to look how he looks in the comics. That's not how the body
Because
looks.
if you look at Tom Holland, he's already like 5'11",
yeah,
5'8".
He's 5'8". You can tell he's small.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man's not
small.
that tall.
But like if you have Tom Holland standing next to a 5'3" person,
Yeah.
That's not going to look good because in the comics, I think Peter and Spider-Man are supposed to be like around 5'11", and
Right.
next to Wolverine, he looks really short. But
Yeah.
now he's just like 5 inches shorter than the actor.
Ooh,
It's not gonna look good.
That would be great too. Henry Cavill as Wolverine. Henry Cavill in the MCU is anything I'd be happy.
And Henry Cavill's got the hair too. Like he fought Zack Snyder because Zack wanted him to shave his chest.
And yeah, you know, now I remember now that what he looks like with that beard. With the
Maybe.
yeah, I'd be down for that. Yeah,
I mean, if they're not going to put him as Superman,
for real. I mean,
although there are rumors, but X-Men. X-Men in my opinion is the best Marvel comic. I mean, I haven't read it in the
X-Men and Spider-Man. Yeah, I love.
The thing is,
those
so I look up Henry Cavill beard, and the first photo that pops up is him at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
Is him at CinemaCon? Oh wow.
It's like the picture from like years ago at CinemaCon.
Right.
I think if they cast Wolverine, number one, it should be like they did with Jackman. Get an unknown actor, not someone that you've seen in something else, someone you've never seen before. So when you look at him, you only think Wolverine. And no, it won't ruin their career because Hugh Jackman was known as Wolverine, and he's been a Broadway actor.
Yeah, that's what Kevin Feige said recently when someone asked him about the Fantastic Four cast, and he said it's going to be a mixture of known actors and a mixture of unknown actors. That's what we do here at Marvel. We try to get the unknowns and we try to get the knowns, so then we mix them. When we mix them, it feels like the unknowns and are like somewhat. It feels good for appeal for people because then you're also looking at new talent and look at old talent who's been around for so long that is finally joining our universe, and you get those fans, and you get the fans of the unknown people as well.
Yep.
And so
I agree. Yeah. Use the same strategy, like you said, Hugh Jackman's strategy, right? Hugh Jackman was not. He had about 1 or 2 movies under his belt, when he took the role.
And it took him a while. Like I feel like in the early 2000s, he wasn't really getting much. It was really the Prestige. I felt when he did
Prestige was big. I think he did do a Woody Allen movie that was kind of
he got exploded after that. But like he could.
Now he's just doing musicals and theater.
I'll take. I love.
And that Reminiscence movie, I haven't seen it, but he looks good in that.
In which one?
Reminiscence. It just came out.
I haven't seen it too. I'm gonna watch it because it's the audience and the critics are pretty split on it. The critics don't like it, but
for me, this trailer looks like.
Still life, real quick. Momoa would make a good Sabretooth with that long hair.
Oh yeah.
Or Kraven the Hunter, dude. Momoa's Kraven the Hunter.
The way Sabretooth looked like in the animated series, imagine Momoa dressed like that. That makes sense.
I didn't know Grant Morrison is writing the X-Men right now.
Oh really? Oh shit! I gotta go.
Oh wait, no, the new X-Men by Grant.
Okay.
Right. Is that correct? This is an older run, or
I think that's an older run.
Yeah, I don't think it's right now.
But
I've had my theory about how they should bring the X-Men into the MCU, and I think my way is the best way.
Which is the way?
Thank you, Caiden. That's what I was waiting for. Okay. So we have our mutants that have lived forever. We have like our Wolverine, we have our Apocalypse, our Charlie Xavier. So let's say mutants have existed on Earth, but not many of them. Maybe there's like 20 scattered across the Earth, right? Just 20. But then somehow the presence of 2 snaps, Thanos' snap and the Hulk snap, and then a third snap, which Tony Stark does, triggers mutations that otherwise would not have happened in evolution for tens of thousands, if not millions of years. And all of a sudden, because of the snap, young teenagers and young people are starting to develop mutations. So mutations that otherwise would not have happened for thousands of years in human evolution start happening now. So instead of those 10 or 15 mutants scattered across the Earth, now everyone is turning into a mutant. Not everyone, but a lot of people. Now it becomes a crisis. So at least you know who the Avengers were, the Fantastic. Now, like your neighbor selling, kibasi on the corner might be a mutant. Your teacher might be a mutant. Your next door neighbor might be a mutant. Everyone masked up. That'd be interesting. All of a sudden, like it creates panic, right? They're like, dude, everyone's a mutant.
But mutants.
But mutants, right? And this is the concentration camps. All of a sudden, the government's like, look, we know who the Avengers are. We know who Spider-Man is, but the mutants, we're going to have to do something about this. We're going to have to lock them up temporarily. And that'd be a way to.
Yeah. I was saying, like, you know how the question for the first Nick Fury season is Secret Invasion and who are Skrulls? Who is a Skrull? what if the second season is Nick Fury investigating mutants?
Yeah. Yeah. Because not every mutant's going to be like, I'm going to put on tights and go out and fight. Then Charles Xavier, who's like, shit, I thought I was alone. I thought it was just me, Eric, and that was it. I got to help these people. I got to do something for these mutants who are being locked up and put in detention camps. And he's like, all right, I'm going to build a home and I'm going to use my, and then you could, and that, so now that's how I would do it.
And you also have Mariah Matt Target, who's, Charles Xavier's like girlfriend / coworker. And when he's a professor, she's the one that helps him. And then that would be cool to see.
Do you guys think they need to retcon the Magneto origin? Because we're about
you can still
removed from the Holocaust.
I think you can still do it. Just have him be like this, where it's like he's this old man that's 60 years old. That looks like he's 50 through 60, but he was really
so the whole thing that mutants age slower. Yeah.
Did you guys hear the rumor that that dude from Breaking Bad and the Mandalorian, what's his name, Carlosito or whatever?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, Esposito. Yeah. Right. He's in talks for Professor X.
That could work. Because here's the thing: only Magneto is tied ethnically because he's ethnically Jewish. He's European Jewish.
Exactly.
Xavier doesn't necessarily need to be white. I mean, look, Patrick Stewart is still playing Captain Picard, but he's 80. But if you want Giancarlo, that'd be kind of cool.
I would love that, man, and that would be great for him because he's so recognized with villain roles.
He's a commanding actor,
right? But he's also he's always given the villain. Like I want to see this guy play the good guy in a great way.
And also, if you think about it, Charles is not every time he's a good guy. He's sometimes a bad guy.
What was Giancarlo Esposito? Giancarlo Stanton's a baseball player. What was his name? Gus Fring in
Gus, not Heisenberg. Gus.
Gus. He's Moff Gideon right now.
Yep,
he's also in The Boys.
And Far Cry.
And he's the bad guy in all of those. And then he's the bad guy in Far Cry 6, the game coming out later this year.
So
he's the bad guy. Like I want to see him play the good guy.
Timbre in his voice, a Tombre, however you say that, you're the musical one. But like Tombre, I think whatever. That I could see him as a Charles Xavier type, but no, he doesn't have to be as old as Magneto. You could say they were friends 20 years ago. And then Magneto could be like, look, I'm like 100 years old.
Yeah, because they met because of Mariah. They through both the comics and the X-Men First Classes showed that Eric and Charles met through a coworker. Because Eric was trying to do his own research on mutants and trying to figure out who killed him and his family before.
I like this idea. Heisenberg, so Cranston should be Magneto.
Maybe. Yeah.
I like that. He can play that off. Absolutely. He can play that off as Jewish.
He can play that off. And again, he looks old enough where you could believe that he's a younger.
Those two,
yeah, that could work. Ooh, that'd be great. Heisenberg versus Gus.
And then it would be the roles reversed because it was Heisenberg versus, what was his character's name again? Gus versus Gus. Now it's Gus versus Heisenberg.
And then when he first hang out to eat like chicken or something like that, they're like, "Would you like some chicken?"
Right.
Chicken,
I agree. The movies have done Cyclops dirty.
Yeah. Well, then I would say
dirty.
Do the first X-Men movie. Do not put Wolverine in it for that first movie.
Yeah,
kind of like how they did with First Class. Yes.
I think the way they did the pilot for the animated series is a great way to do it. Like you focus on Jubilee or like one character who gets recruited by the X-Men, or do something where actually, I gotta leave too. I got trivia to host. Ill Life, you want to stop by? If you're not busy, come in for a minute. I'll buy you a beer and then leave. But I think this is a great show. I really had fun today.
I heard a rumor that they're introducing Kitty Pryde first.
Oh, that'd be a good character too. They had three different actresses play Kitty Pryde, I think, in the
right. I guess the anti-hero.
I think a case could be made that he's the protagonist, definitely.
Yes, protagonist.
The thing you have to a good guy would be Jesse, because Jesse struggled with some of the evil stuff they did. Heisenberg did not. He seemed to be okay with it.
Right, exactly. He gets deeper and deeper, yeah.
Is that, Gus Fring is like the more, I mean, look what happened to his brother-in-law, like, but then Heisenberg at the same time tries to save his brother-in-law. Like, I mean, you're not, I'm not saying the good guy protagonist is the better answer, but like, you're still kind of rooting for him. Same way you root for Tony Montana, even though.
But I would agree. You know what, Justin? That may just be an episode. Is Heisenberg a good guy? That would be that's a great thing to get into.
I think he's more of the anti-protagonist. He's the protagonist, but he's the anti-hero.
But the thing is
even an anti-hero is still does the right
thing. This is the thing about the show, right? Even though he's doing all of these things bad and stuff, for the most part, you're still rooting for Heisenberg.
What did I just say about villains while Austin was gone? What makes a good villain? You kind of see their point of view.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, dude, Killmonger, Thanos, of course, Loki. Those are the only three that you can name. And you know what? Even Voltron.
Wait, what about the Russian guy from Black Widow?
Oh my God,
I don't even know what his name was.
Dreykov or what? Dreykov or whatever. The only reason I remember Dreykov is because I'm pretty sure that was a villain in a Call of Duty game. But
it was Dragovich, Steiner.
Dragovich,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, you're exactly right, Jackie. Those villains, when you look at them, you can, it's not saying that you agree or that you're for them, but you see their point. They have a case. And it's, I agree. I agree completely. I think that, and Heisenberg is definitely, even though he's doing bad things.
Monologues in Marvel history. In the first season of Daredevil, remember there's this love story with him and this girl Vanessa. And you think like, oh my God, I don't care about this. But it's some of the best acting I've seen from D'Onofrio, where he tells her about how he killed his father. And she's like, it's okay. You were trying to save your mother. It's like, no, I did it for myself. I didn't do it to save my mother. I'm not a monster. Am I? And I'm like, shit. Like the way he said it, like, no,
you're crazy, dude. You crazy. Like,
but then there's that vulnerability. Like, am I a monster because he loves this woman? Like, I'm like, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I do think that was and I don't think it was not necessarily that they made Taskmaster a woman, but I do think that they
should have Boba Fetted it. Like, don't even tell it. Like, say nothing, no reveal.
Yeah, it did not come across well in the story. So
I mean, you can see in that scene,
right?
In that scene when it's revealed, you can see when you're seeing the side profile, you can see that it's clearly someone else was there. They edit it out and then reshoots. They put her in.
Right. Yeah, I think but also too, right? They leave it open for, I guess, Tony Masters.
Yeah. How about this? I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Can we pick up this conversation for the beginning of the next episode? Let's talk about the X-Men. Let's talk about the X-Men. I will also talk about the news, and I'll throw the wrestling stuff at the end because this is a great conversation. I would love to see what they do with the X-Men.
Yes.
Wolverine. Maybe have some fan casting, guys. What you guys
let's do it. Let's do it.
In less than an hour and 10 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, in an hour and 20 minutes, I'm back on with Ty, and we're doing the CinemaCon Warner Brothers presentation, guys. So make sure, tune in for that. Don't forget, September 6th, Lean On Me premieres on Mondays, right, at 10:30 Eastern Standard. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, for liking. The chat was insanely lit today. We love it. That's what we want. We feed off of you guys. We love talking and engaging with you guys. So make sure and show up. Let us know your questions. You can always email, DM us on all of our social medias at Pop Culture Corner. And that's my little end spiel.
That's your there we go. Folks, thank you for joining us. I want to thank last night's thing helped us today, definitely. I also want to thank him, Austin. I was so scared when you left. I'm like, watch that viewership just drop. It didn't.
No, I told you. I said it's gonna go up. You're gonna be fine.
It actually jumped when you came back. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much. Tomorrow night, I think we have an interview tomorrow, right? Don't we? Manny and
yes. Ty does have an interview tomorrow night at.
You're gonna like this.
Yeah, I believe at 5 Eastern Standard.
Yeah, 5 Eastern Standard, 8 p.m. Wait, no, 8 p.m. Standard, Eastern Standard, 5 here, 5 PST.
Got it.
It's with a cool guy. He's awesome. I hope you guys like him. Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah, it's a guy who he runs film festivals, and he's very much in the film and entertainment industry. So it's gonna be a lot of great information and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Drifter. Thank you, Dawes. Thank you, Benson's. We appreciate you guys so much.
Benson, thank you for the super chats. You guys didn't have to do that. We do appreciate it.
You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Yeah, with that, we'll be back soon. Make sure and keep the notifications on because we have got you covered on everything CinemaCon this week. And
be ready in 1 hour. Be ready in 1 hour. Just come right back here.
Come on back. I like Drifter's attitude. He's like, I'm staying right here. There you go. We love it. We love it. Thank you guys so much.
Thursday, we will be back. Me and Austin Lean. We're going to be back.
Thursday
on Thursday. Caiden's cool, man. That's Caiden. Caiden's just like, he's like Dominic Toretto. He just talks like this.
Yeah. He's all right. He balances us out.
It's all about family. You know,
right.
Caiden just got this cool cadence. Ooh, that rhymes.
Oh, there you go.
Alliteration. That's just how he is. So, folks, tonight we'll see you in 1 hour. We'll see you tomorrow night, and we'll be back on Thursday with Jivin with Jack. Mark your calendars. A Remind series, September 6th. Lean on me.
Hey,
10:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will be here because Austin. Why? Because we
do it for you, and we do it for the culture.